Okay, so let's get back up to speed here. Our samurai in training, Utaku Taiko, Bayushi Rioto, and Shiba Koretane.
Right.
They had just begun the actual competition portion of the Topaz Championship. And they had all three gone through the first event, which was Sumai, a traditional wrestling style event. And at the end of that event, all three of our players here were tied at 2 points.
I'm stressed the fuck out.
Now keep in mind, as I mentioned the last time, you need at least 8 points
To graduate.
to become a samurai, to make your genpuku.
What a sad... it's just sad ending
If
if one person or no one just...
Well, we all got 6 points.
just
None of you are samurai.
It's also important that gaining at least 8 points will cause you to graduate, but also you'll be invited back for the Iajutsu competition, the dueling, on the final day. Just a reminder, you earn 1 point if you satisfy the judge that you're proficient in what you're doing. If you succeed in a way that wins the judge's approval, usually based on... and you can always ask me questions about who the judge is, and I'll give you some basic information, like what does the judge look like, what clan are they a part of, what does it seem like they favor, and of course they say a little bit of a spiel beforehand to kind of indicate, to give some brief guidance to the students. You get 2 points, rather, you get an additional point if you've done that, right? So 1 for succeeding at the event, and an additional 1 for doing it in the way that the judge prefers, right?
And I'm still trying to figure out about beating the projected winner, or what was it?
Yeah, there's a front runner.
Think of it like par time.
Yeah.
Par time doesn't change, or par strokes for golf.
Sure.
It doesn't change, but
Yeah, there's a listed
the
front
number of
runner in that category. Think of it this way. The three of you are participating in these events after most everyone else has gone. So
I see.
the front runner's already been established, so what you have to do is try to, again, kind of like part-time, beat that to get those,
I see.
not only an extra point, but a glory point as well.
Yeah.
that's what it is, the glory.
So, after the Sumai competition, everyone is able to sort of dust themselves off and redress themselves, so they're out of their skivvies, or whatever the Japanese equivalent of skivvies is. And
Force drive.
you are all
That's right.
shepherded one at a time into a small gallery in the Kakita Dojo for what has been announced as the heraldry competition. Now, you're all familiar with what heraldry is, right?
That's the identification of
Family
like
crest?
family.
Crests and
Yeah.
symbols and stuff. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
In this case, as the judge, Doji Murashige of the Crane Clan, he explains that you are to be shown 5 pieces of heraldry of increasing difficulty.
Oh, good.
On the one end, you'd see a piece of heraldry representing a great clan, which should be easy enough. Crane, unicorn, lion. It should be easy enough for just someone living in Rokugan, and much less a samurai, right? And then on the extreme end, a relatively minor samurai, an individual.
Woof.
And so it spans the gamut between them. So you'll see these 5 pieces. You'll be asked to identify them. He explains that partial answers will earn partial credit. And so in order to succeed at this event, you must identify 4 of these outright,
Okay.
or gain partial credit on all 5. And then you'll be considered proficient. You see Doji... my language is not working today. Doji Murashige says, consider that the design of each heraldic emblem contains clues as to its origins that can be unlocked with careful study. So, in order to compete, this is going to be a TN2 culture check. Now keep in mind, you can use whatever approach you'd like of the 5 rings that you have at your disposal, but one of those rings, one of those approaches, is favored by the judge. Keep in mind that, and this will help too, you may want to instead describe how you want to handle the event, like how your character wants to proceed in the event, like physically, materially, literally, right? I'm going to listen very carefully and then only answer questions when I'm absolutely certain of them. Or I'm going to try to fast talk around and sort of arrive at the answer in a cyclical fashion. And based on that, we can determine what ring is
right.
what
Rather
approach is
than
appropriate.
working from
the other way around.
ring to
Yeah. So, who wants to go first?
If you get one more time about the little bit before that, he said about what was the hint or his.
He said to consider that the design of each heraldic emblem contains clues as to its origins that can be unlocked with careful study.
Right.
Well, how about someone with culture goes before me?
So you're here in the gallery. The students are.
Oh, none of you guys do? Cool.
These
thought about
pieces
it.
of heraldry are kind of mounted and hung in periodically throughout the dojo, and students have been wandering in and out, studying them, and then sitting down before a panel of judges. The chiefest of which is Doji Murashige, and they give their sort of explanations about which piece is which, and so on and so forth.
Cool.
So is it like everybody has been released into this art gallery kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they take turns saying, like, everybody gets an opportunity to kind of, for a few minutes, take in the whole arrangement of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then the judges will then, specifically Doji Murashige will come up and say, this one, and then this one, and then this one, and this one, and this one, and do 5 in order at random. That will then, you ask individual students as they come up in order, and figure that out.
Alright, so, okay. Might as well try it first, right?
Okay.
Go for it.
So you're going to make a culture check.
Sure. So I go up and to identify, I attempt to break it down into pieces based on digestible images.
Sure, break it down into elements.
Right.
Right, yeah.
To attempt to start from what I can discern from those individual pieces and symbols, and bring it together into some educational guess. Assuming I don't already know it. So
That sounds like an Earth approach to me. Cautious and grounded, thorough.
Are you talking about
Do you agree?
culture?
Yeah.
Well, because I'm not. I won't fight you on it, though. I'm trying. I guess the.
Well, it's up to you and how you want to approach it.
Sure.
I'm just trying to.
Right. No, I guess I'm
come to a
attempting to the. Because either analyze or survey, at least taking it from the approach. Right?
Analyze, I think, would be appropriate for
Okay.
that, right?
Attempting, because of the. At least for that, it's like a recall, so I'm not. I guess I'm not relying so much on my actual history as much as I'm trying to just.
You're looking at these symbols and the elements and thinking, okay, that looks like a dead giveaway for this, and that related to that. So you're trying to draw connections rather than remember, oh, that's definitely the symbol of X or
Trying to
Y.
go from
Like
context
roots.
Yeah,
With
with
language.
semantics. Yeah.
Does that seem
That seems fair. Yeah, absolutely.
so?
So what approach are you going with for that?
A analyze.
And analyze is
Air.
Air.
air approach? Okay.
Gusty.
So you need at least 2 successes.
Cultures for trumps.
I mean, if you roll well, it is. If not,
So
mistakes were made.
this
That's
is
an exploding success.
with okay. So cool. So I have to choose what I'm taking right now, right?
Yes.
Well, first of all, do any advantages or disadvantages apply here?
Okay. Oh, you mean, or the opportunity? You mean?
No,
Or-
I'm saying any of your advantages and disadvantages
Oh,
of your
that's
sheet,
right.
do they apply?
Uh,
Because you have to do those before you start keeping dice.
oh, I see. No, I don't believe so. I think everything is kind of away from anything cultured.
Okay.
So, I guess
So what's your air ring?
3.
3. Okay, so
So-
you can keep all of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will take the opportunity. Take this.
Now you got the explosion, so you can roll and keep an additional die.
Right, but I do have to decide what I'm keeping beforehand, right?
Yes. Yep.
So, I think I will let the second opportunity go.
Okay,
Because
to
I don't
avoid the
want
strife.
the strife.
Sure,
right.
yeah. Makes sense. So you got one opportunity and then a success already and a strife.
Yes.
Okay, now roll that extra one.
Success.
Another success.
All right.
Okay, so that's 2 successes,
Okay.
strife, and an opportunity. How do you want to use that opportunity?
Understanding that this is I guess a weakness, but also like I'm not taking this from an actual like learned. I'm like taking it as like deduction.
Sure.
So instead, I'm going to lean into a bit of into Rioto's character and start pretending I know more than I do.
Okay.
Or just be like, yes, this symbol because of this, blah blah blah. Just flaunting unnecessary trivia
Sure.
to the judge,
Yeah.
in an effort to
To make them think that your knowledge is deeper than it is.
yes,
Right. Yes.
exactly.
Okay.
It's called Shiba.
So no, that's different.
Well, yeah, that actually means I can support my claims.
So Doji Murashige points out the 5 pieces of heraldry, and you get one strife. So it is
Yeah, I'm
slightly flustering for you as you go on.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
how I was going to rationalize it because I'm not exactly on top of it, but I try to.
But you do get the 2 successes necessary to succeed. And Doji Murashige looks just kind of a calm nod, and you can see that he's a discerning man, and his reaction towards you is one of he understands what you're trying to do. And he is nonetheless appreciative of the extra information you do know and the successes that you made purely using deduction, and so he is satisfied with your approach.
Yeah,
Okay. So let's see. So that was an air approach, and you succeeded. Very good. All right, Taiko, Koretane.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
Culture check. What approach are you gonna use? How are you doing this?
I'm going to assume because of you tell me what method this is. So she is probably very much a high achiever and like wants to get everything perfect and like
Okay.
proper. So if she studied this at any time, she's going to probably do her best to absolutely memorize everything. So probably more of a recall type of thing. Like, oh, I just know these. Boom, boom, boom. I recognize. You know what I mean? Like that.
Okay, so trying to rely on her memory.
the actual study.
What
Actual
she
study.
studied. Yeah.
That sounds like Earth to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Let's go.
Ugh. Explosive success and a success with 1 strife, and this one's blank.
So you get to keep 2 because that's your Earth?
No,
Or 3.
Earth is 3.
Okay.
So, I definitely want to keep the 2 success, obviously.
So that exploding success you can keep, you can roll and keep another
Okay.
one. So go ahead and
Oh, just get another one.
yes. We want to make sure that we keep all the surfaces. All right, success and a strife.
Okay.
So in total, that's
3
you
successes.
keep those 3. That's 3 successes and 2 strife.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Where's my strife?
3 successes.
Where did I put strife at?
Should be on the back where composure is.
Top right.
Oh, I see. Wait, did we knock down any strife before the...
At the end of the previous scene, at the end of that competition,
Yeah.
your strife goes back down to half of your composure value.
Okay, cool.
So at the end of each scene, that resets to half.
So if I had 2 strife, I go down to 1?
No. It's half of your composure total.
Your max. So I've got 6 right now.
Oh,
Well,
I
which was
had-
6 max. Have 4 strife right now.
So it would stay.
That would stay?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It goes back down
half.
to
To
half.
half. Yeah.
Right, but
Okay, so
wasn't
I
that
have-
3?
I have 10
Would be.
composure, and that gives me... I had 2 strife.
So, okay.
So that would stay.
It just
If
stays.
it was
So
6,
now I have...
it would go back down to 5.
So now I have
Does that
4.
make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
But I have 3 success, so I'll take it.
And if you're under that, you just stay.
That is my understanding.
Okay.
Yes.
You gain.
You
no other
gain
benefit.
you gain strife.
You go up.
Yeah, you go.
Life is hard. You just get stressed out.
Just a
It really, it's hard.
Oh.
I mean, for real.
Yeah.
At the end of each scene, each PC removes strife until the remainder is equal to half their composure.
Okay. Yep. So
Okay.
I'm down to 3.
So basically,
Between walking to this, you just calm down a bit.
That quick moment of just center and release.
so that was 3 successes for you and 2 strife. You marked down your 2 strife.
I did.
Okay.
But that's
Alright.
3 successes. I used the earth technique, though, so I don't know.
So you see, Doji Murashige, he points out these pieces of heraldry, and you do exceptionally well in recalling to the letter what each of these emblems and these heraldic symbols mean. But you can see that the Crane Clan master is he is somewhat. He has sort of a blank expression on his face. He clearly approves as he gives you another nod at the end of your interrogation, so to speak. But it's clear that he was hoping. It's clear to you that he was hoping for something more, something more interesting than
answer.
just sort of what sounded like to him, at least that's from what you're getting, a rote sort of recall of facts. Right?
Yeah, I'm not a real passionate person about the heraldry.
But you were successful.
Great.
Koretane.
Okay.
Well, there's more than muscle in that head of yours.
Are you going to use the gummy bears to roleplay?
I go red.
I'm the fluid.
No, I'm the scorpion. But you're orange. 'Cause you're Pheonix.
He's already decided.
There was no purple, so this is the best I got.
I appreciate that because that's like my favorite shade of blue. So.
So I think Koretane is going to come at this from kind of the point of view of having been, using his distinction, famously successful before. He's kind of rubbed shoulders with a number of different clans and people before.
Okay.
So I feel like this is going to be I would probably assume start kind of with that kind of recall, but then hits this point where it's like, okay, we're starting to deal with like minute clans, people I haven't come up against, people I haven't met personally, and starts just kind of trying to piece things together. Based on, honestly, like more of his own past experience with clans, instead of spending time like investigating the objects themselves and what they mean.
Okay.
Sounds like a fire theorized to me.
That's what I'm throwing for, yeah.
I don't know if I'd agree with that. I think, but based on your description, I would say that sounds like a water approach.
A little bit more watery.
Oh, okay.
Very moist, a moist approach.
I like a good chance for failure. I've only got one in water.
So
I'd be willing to give that a
specifically,
try.
you were looking for theorize. Sort
Not
of,
even,
right?
yeah, not even necessarily.
But you were angling for fire rate.
I don't even know what to say. More so like his approach at it would just be, it would come from something of memory, and then when you start getting to things he doesn't know, it's going to be a lot more of, maybe a lot more of that analytical or, survey kind of approach.
Okay, so it sounds like you're split between either an earth approach and then I would say probably a water approach. But so what of those make sense to you based on Koretane's sort of approach here? Because unfortunately, you can't split the difference between two approaches. You got to commit to one.
I think I'll try the water approach, despite not being really good at it. But in this moment, after the last bout, he's kind of been off kilter. So
Okay.
he's attempting to channel water to some degree.
So you need 2 explosive successes.
Yep. To match you.
Right.
What's that? Just stress?
That's
No, just
one
success.
single success.
A single success.
Okay. But remember, your advantage applies here. Famously successful,
Yeah. The reroll.
as you just mentioned.
Oh,
Oh, the risk.
Well, the yellow and greens are not good.
Well, as you know, based on the rules, there's no great penalty, at least
Oh, the great, yeah,
in
sorry,
terms
yeah.
of tournament standing for failure. It's just that you simply don't have the opportunity to gain points, right?
I'll give it a reroll. See if we can get the explosion. Opportunity and strife.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna. Well, no. Let's take the opportunity there.
Mm-hmm. So what do you want to do with the
Take
opportunity?
a point of strife.
A reminder: here's the things you can do with an
I love this
opportunity.
guy.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You can remove 1 strife per opportunity.
Hmm.
If you failed, you can demonstrate your determination and skill even in the face of adversity. So you
I think that's
wouldn't
fitting.
be embarrassed or have any like social shame for failure. You would just be shown that you were trying your best and you showed spirit, right?
I think that fits it to a T.
Okay.
Like I think he nails 3 of them, and then when he starts getting to the more minute detail stuff, he's always faltering and he can't even get the slightest clue.
right.
Now, I would like to point out that you can use it to learn an interesting detail about contestants or judges as well.
I'm kind of tempted to at least learn what this judge's preferred approach is, but
That's up to you. You, however,
No,
I can tell you that this early in the competition and for a heraldry event, the embarrassment or shame of not
is not.
is not great.
We'll take it, especially
good.
having flaunted like not caring
Cinnamon apple
about
straws.
lesser clans earlier.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like they
Lean in on that a bit, and
into,
try to figure out what was the instructor or
Doji Miroshige
And they're not terrible for you.
of the Crane clan.
Wonderful.
They're like veggie straws except apple.
what his or preferred approach is.
Well, Doji Miroshige of the Crane clan, you can see that earlier, as he was making the rounds and announcing to students, it seemed like the students who were taking a more clever approach to this challenge were earning his favor.
So probably
The 2-dimensional
air.
picture of Rio just in your head, just smiling, just doing
You.
What are you sniffing at, child?
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
Dog.
Okay, so that is you did not succeed. Unfortunately, did not show proficiency in that.
So if you're hungry, you can have some fruit.
Brush it off as you go.
So you notice that as the and you did communicate this with everyone else. The spirit of Doji Satsume, the former Emerald champion, informed you that he was looking for Hitoshi, the young mantis, to survive the championship. and that he become a samurai worthy of his father.
Right.
Yeah.
We could
You
go back
kept
to
that secret.
No, we just didn't have enough time to do it.
I remember he did mention,
Yeah.
I will keep everybody.
Yeah, we could choose to revisit that moment if you want, but I assume how it generally goes is wake up, talk to you guys about some weird dream I have, and through some extensive conversation we have determined that it probably was not a dream, but something
More than
spooky. Probably more pulled from your character who believes in...
Superstitions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ancient
Strong
religions
connection to
and-
the void.
Yes.
So you noticed in the last two events, you've been sort of keeping an eye out for how Hitoshi's doing. What's going on with him?
What do?
You noticed that in Sumai, the previous event, the wrestling event, he did okay. He actually got a point. But in heraldry, he failed to earn his marks. Now, he wasn't the only one to do so. But he did not gain a point for the heraldry event. So you can see there's a little bit of barely veiled frustration on his face.
How many events are there? Like 32 or something?
There are 11.
Yeah. Wow.
He's got some
5 and then 6.
How many points did we earn?
Okay, so at your current standings, Taiko, you have 3. Rioto, you have 4. And Koretane, you have 2.
Why do I only have 3?
Because the TN was 2, and you did 3 successes.
Oh, I thought that was a total score. From like last event and this event.
The last event, you got 2 points.
Yeah. And I only got 1 this time?
You only got 1 this time.
Wow, even with 3.
Well, that's the thing. To get that extra point, you have
You have
to
to do it the way they want.
use the approach that the judges want,
Yeah.
or you have to beat the front runner. The front runner for this event was Kitsu Tsubasa, and he did so exceptionally well that you'd have to get 2 extra successes on top of the TN2.
He knows every
I was-
family in
I was 1
Rokugan.
success away, man.
Yes, but that's how it goes.
Okay.
So close.
Damn it.
So they take some time after the heraldry event is done. They usher all of the students out of the gallery in the dojo, and a few minutes pass of relaxation allows everyone to sort of recompose themselves and take in a little bit of the afternoon air. And after a while, a servant comes in and gestures for all of the students to follow him out to the forest outside the school. And you can see out here that what looks like an obstacle course has been erected in the forest, and it looks like it's in a winding path through the forest, beginning and ending near the Kakita Gardens, which I believe are somewhere on here. The gardens in this general area here.
As you can see on the weather map.
Well, there's the whole Dueling
That's
Academy.
just this
compound,
whole.
so.
It's in there somewhere.
The winding path begins and ends near the Kakita Gardens, and you can see that the obstacles, they look like you can see a log laid across a rushing stream, a rather thin log, so it requires some balance and coordination. There's like a pit of mud with hanging ropes that have been strung up so that you can swing across, and then a tall but relatively uneven wall you have to mount and climb.
Okay.
You can see that there is an athletic woman. She identifies herself as Kakita Naomori of the Crane Clan.
More cranes.
And she says the best way to overcome the obstacles of your fate is by being flexible enough to adapt to them.
So water.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I can't tell you that.
I think you're right.
Okay.
Now this is a fitness check.
Yes.
Pure like bodily appropriateness for
What about
the rigors of a
martial
samurai.
arts melee? Would that also?
No, that's dumb.
Chop your way
No,
through
it's
the
not. Tactics?
climbing wall. Kapah.
No.
Well, you have to like survey how to do it. And then... Fine.
I'm
There
literally
will be-
reading from
Yeah.
the book, and it says fitness check. I do not have the leeway to say, oh no, just do a courtesy roll on this one.
Through God, all things are possible. So,
God's not here. This is Rokugan,
It's the kami.
It's the
Capital
kami,
K.
and they're dead.
Okay. But if I have a rank in fitness, I get one of the white dice?
Yes, that's right. So you're going to pick your approach. That's your ring, and so you'll
Yeah.
get that number of black die. And then if you have fitness skill rank, you get to add your skill die.
And you have to get 2 successes again?
This is a TN2, so 2 successes at least to gain that point of proficiency. Right?
So after Koretane's last failure, he's looking at this and is like, I'm just going to do it.
He's eager to correct himself, to prove himself. Yeah.
And prove himself by any means possible, letting nothing slow him down.
That sounds like a fire approach. Okay. So using the ferocity of the fire approach.
We're going in with 3. Man, these dice. Ugh. 1 success, an opportunity, and strife.
Just lots of strife.
Now, do any advantages or disadvantages apply?
I mean, I feel really bad for continuously leaning on famously successful.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I think it makes sense, particularly in this context, because these are public events.
Yeah,
people are
it's all about
watching.
reputation and fame.
Now, private
yeah.
tasks that wouldn't necessarily apply here.
So it's reroll 2. Yeah, let's reroll 2 and see if we can get
Okay.
success. Come on.
Hey,
There we go. 3 success, 1 strife.
3
That sounds
successes and 1 strife.
Are you taking
Just-
the mortis strife?
Hit dirt. Yeah, I might as well try for the above and beyond. If it happens to be low, which I don't think it will be, but...
So it looks like, as you set up at the beginning of the obstacle course, it looks like they're running them 2 by 2. So it's you and what looks like Bayushi Meilin of the Scorpion Clan.
Okay.
And the 2 of you break hard at the sound of the drum, and you are able to navigate the obstacle course with a bump. And you realize afterwards that you were able to beat the front runner as well.
Yes.
So you have earned 2 points.
Good day.
1 for getting the TN2, and then 1 for beating the front runner.
Yeah, she's like, good. I was sitting there like, come on, don't be done again.
Don't mess this up.
Don't be done. Don't be done.
Don't eat dirt.
Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up.
Okay.
I don't want to have to associate with you. Fuck it up.
You had
Rioto?
good job, Koretane.
Seems like you're up next.
All right.
As you are approaching the sort of the starting line for this obstacle course, you note that your partner, quote unquote, for this run is Hitoshi. Now you're not
Better keep
cooperating.
him up.
You're just happening to run at the same time. That's how they're running these 2 by 2.
I see. All right.
I mean, what would happen if one were to potentially help him a little bit in an attempt to remain unnoticed?
You could do that.
Maybe that could be use of an opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll see where that goes. Otherwise, like I just can't. I think they picked the wrong character to actively help other people. But we'll see.
That's why he's with you,
Yeah.
because I want to see what happens.
It's like just looking back.
When Hitoshi beats you, I can't be seen with you anymore.
You hear
You aren't this.
Just standing there, just like collecting my breath, just looking at you like.
you hear
you,
Doji
man.
Satsume's voice in your head.
He beats
Yeah,
you.
that same image, but in reverse. When you was in your head, it's just like. All right.
Don't fuck it up.
Yeah, understanding the crane's telegraphed, highly telegraphed approach,
Desired.
and with rolled eyes. Instead, what is going to happen is to take a very, to just put it plainly, like just move like water, right? Very graceful,
Flexible, graceful, kind of, yeah.
yeah, very even somewhat like.
Elegant.
Yes, that's perfect.
Yes.
An elegant approach.
Well, then water would be appropriate.
Uh,
Yes. So water fitness.
also makes me look good. So
Of course.
Right. You got to Bruce Lee your way through this.
right.
So you got 3 in water, and then your fitness.
Man, it's
Okay, looking good so far. So that's
successes.
3 total successes. A lot of strife, though. So
Right.
one opportunity.
Do you wanna help our main man out?
Remember,
Well,
you
I'm
can
trying to think of. I'm trying to find.
remember
a
you can only
distinction.
keep 3 of those because of your ring.
Of course. So here's the deal. Because I do want to be transparent. So ahead of, I'm so far, at least before we score this round, I will say that because of I feel I'm ahead in points, I'm feeling a little headstrong.
I mean, you know well enough how you did that, like you can.
Actually, I just feel like I'm on fire right
yeah,
now. So
which is ironic because you're using the water.
Right, exactly.
gotta
So
be
I'm going
shoes.
to lean into my delusions of grandeur.
Okay, sounds good.
To re-roll 2 successes.
Okay.
At the same time, though, I also want to know if the idea of my absolutely dangerous allure also plays in, and if not, that's also cool. I just was looking at everybody just looking at my absolutely finely sculpted figure.
Unrolling their eyes.
No, I think it'll be interesting for both of those to apply at once. Yeah,
So how does that layer itself?
I would resolve the disadvantages first, and then the advantages second.
Right. So re-roll 2 dice containing.
Success or super success.
Zoe, could you get
Oh,
the
or super success. Got it. Okay.
Explosive
Success or super success?
Okay.
Okay,
So
reroll those.
opportunity?
Ooh. There's just raw opportunity.
okay.
Still succeeding.
Now, giving into my dead sexiness.
Perhaps just dead.
And again, you can keep 3 of those. So. No, wait. The advantage allows you to roll and keep, right? No, that's the explosion. Never mind.
That's the
So
explosion.
you can keep
So I
3.
get-
Hey, Zoe, could you get the dog some water?
No, no more water. Just beat enough.
Just going success?
So you're going to keep those. So it looks like 3 successes and 2 strife.
Yes.
Okay.
So as I'm actively, it takes. I would rather just do this. Yeah, right. I'm taking extra effort to show off, which is physically straining on myself. So.
All right. So you are straining yourself, but you are the way that the obstacle course is set up. It's not exactly designed for the setup of it, and the fact that it is in nature, right, rather than sort of an urban setting, means that there's the occasional sort of sticky patch of land or uneven elevation or everything. It's not exactly designed for fluid, graceful movement, but you are able to do so, and that does cost you a little bit of stamina, basically, or you're working. You keep an eye on Itoshi, and he does a respectable performance, but he unfortunately fails to navigate the obstacle course all the way through, so he does not succeed any points. You, however, gain 3 points.
Jeez.
You met the TN2. You did a water approach, which the Judge Naomori smiled upon, and then you also beat the front runner with 1 bonus success.
As I do my flourished flip at the end of it, just brush off dirt. While just doing
Dismount the pole.
only
slightest flex.
the slightest flex, mainly towards Utaku. So just
Okay.
well, shooting her away.
Okay, Utaku, you're up next.
Sounds of retching.
You can't do that in public.
Here, Leon, can you make those sounds for us? You can't right now.
So
You definitely can.
I'm not sure what approach this is because I don't think she's very good at I think she's stubborn. I know you'll be surprised to hear that. I think she's not always willing to do it a different way. If she's not certain she'll succeed that way. Does that make sense? So it's not so much stubbornness as it is I know I can do it this way. As
Oh, a
opposed to,
practiced approach.
That
Yeah,
sounds
you know what I
cautious to
mean?
me. That sounds like Earth.
Right, but this is also totally her jam. This obstacle course out in the wild and being out in nature and stuff. So I don't know if that would just be earthen.
That
Or-
sounds like Earth to me. If you're
Okay.
just
Like,
this is
I'm
the
just-
way we've always
I know
done it.
how
This
to. I know how to do this. I'm good at this.
That's Earth. Yeah.
I don't need to show off. You know what I mean?
That's Earth.
Gonna get this done.
So Earth Ring, and then your skill
Okay.
and fitness.
Yep.
Come on. on dice.
Let's see. We got two
success,
opportunities.
Three opportunities.
Three, yeah, that's right.
3 opportunities, 2 success, and 3 strife.
Yes.
Now,
Now,
does
do
quick
any-
reflexes help me with this?
I would say so. Yes, I think that applies here. Allowing you to correct for mistakes or unusual
terrain or
happenings
whatever,
on the
Okay, see,
terrain.
that's better. So that's 4 success.
But you can only keep,
keep
3
3.
of those.
Okay, well, obviously I'm not going to keep one of the strife. So that's 3 success, 1 strife, and an opportunity.
3 success, 1 strife, and an opportunity.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow. 3 stress.
3 success.
Now, what do you want your opportunity to be?
Man, I would just like to really have, like...
You could not have to take that strife if you'd like. Or
I don't
rather,
know. I was
rather you'll
thinking
remove
more-
1 strife.
I was thinking more I'd like to... I don't know, man. Maybe this doesn't mean much, but the lady judging it as a woman and I'm a woman and, like, having that kind of kinship between
Okay,
the two.
playing the vagina card.
I will stab you with it. But, like, just having that kinship of, like, yo,
I've been on Reddit.
Oh no.
Anyways.
Mistakes were made.
I'm getting physically ill. But just having that moment of kinship of, like, yo, just trying to get this done in front of mostly, like, what, men right here?
Okay, yeah.
You know
no,
what I mean?
that,
Like that-
that's sensible. Yeah.
On top of that, you're doing it in like, I mean, he was reckless. I was showboating. You did it purely by like
Do it.
out in the field.
Focusing and just
Yeah.
do it.
Just fucking did it.
So you,
Yeah, you're just
properly.
getting
You know what I
shit
mean?
done.
So you can see that Kakita Nomori, Master Nomori, although she is she's visibly nonplussed by the approach that you're taking. She appreciates your level-headedness and your focus in a sea of contestants, both male and female,
Yeah.
who are focusing on themselves rather than the achievement of tasks.
Yeah.
She appreciates that. So that's 2 points for you.
Great.
Nice.
Because you beat the TN2
Okay.
and you
Beat the front runner.
beat the front runner.
Fantastic.
Because you had 3 successes?
I did?
Okay. So, 2, 4, 6 for Taiko.
Okay, I thought I had 5. Alright, cool.
No, because you had 2, 1, and 2. Sorry, 5. You're right. 5. Math.
2 plus 1 plus 2.
7 for Rioto. And then 4 for Koretane.
Catching up.
If you gloat, I might trip you in front of a large group of people. On accident.
I would watch that.
I knew you cared. So after a moment for all the students to collect themselves, to ensure that they are no longer caked in mud or covered in brambles, the students are all led to an adjacent field where you can see that a series of ropes and flags have been erected, and nearby there are a series of horses.
All right.
Can I use my horse?
No, unfortunately.
Damn it.
These are the Kakita Academy's horses, and so personal horses and so on are refused from the competition.
Okay.
But it looks like so the judge, who you recognize as being from the Unicorn Clan, Utaku Oichi, grins at you. She explains that you must mount one of the horses provided, ride to the end of the field, collect a flag, ride back, and then you have to take one of the spears that they have on offer and collect rings on it from where they're hanging periodically throughout the course.
Cool.
That you'll be judged on both your speed and your grace. She grins and says, to tame a steed, you must be as fierce and bold as the horse. Good luck.
I have a chance to succeed.
So what is the skill for this one?
This is a survival check, and it is TN1.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mostly because
chucking dice.
Mostly because horseback riding is, in Rokugan, it's expected that most everyone knows how to ride a horse. Perhaps not necessarily with textbook precision, but...
You can get up there, stay up there.
Yes. So who's going to go first?
I mean, I feel like I have to go first because it's Unicorn Clan.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. You wanna show the pride of the Unicorn Clan?
I sure do.
Grand gesture.
Okay, so what approach you take?
I mean, she just wants to show she can do it more than anything. She's like, okay, I know I can do this. I know I can ride a horse. I know I can do all this stuff.
The measured approach.
Let's just go out and...
You doing another measured approach?
Yeah, I guess so.
That'd be Earth.
I guess I'm just a measured kind of person.
Hey, it works.
So I have 3 in survival. Do I also roll 3 in Earth as well?
You have 3 ranks in survival?
Yeah, sure do.
And then you've got 3 dice for
Holy
the super skill.
You are the front runner.
I knew it was coming.
Period.
I knew survival was going to show up somewhere. But I don't think this is the approach she wants.
No, probably not.
Cool. So, exploding success.
Nice.
That's just a success. That's just a success. That was opportunity. Oh, no one strife. That was crap. I guess it was that one. Alright, so how many of these do I get to keep?
However much your Earth ring is.
So, 3. Okay, nice. So that's 3 success with 1 exploding success. So I roll another white one?
Roll another one of those, yeah.
Okay, so that's 4 success and 2 strife.
4 successes and 2 strife.
Yes.
Okay, record your strife. 4 successes. Okay. Alright.
Although my strife is quite high now. Will it reset back to half after this event?
After this event, it'll reset back to half of your composure. So basically, you're always guaranteed to, like, if you're above half, you get to go back down to half, but if it's less than that, it's not going to wipe itself out. You're just going to keep building.
Okay.
So you're encouraged to meditate or
take a moment.
Or to take a moment to clear your strife.
Okay.
So you do exceptionally well. You, with elegance, mount on the back of this average steed and complete the course in record time with true unicorn grace. And though Utaku Oichi is a little, she has a kind of the vaguest, slightest kind of eye roll look. We've seen the things.
Yeah, measured.
Textbook
not
stuff.
anything
Blah
fun.
blah blah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she does applaud and appreciates that you have shown shown greatness for the Unicorn Clan. You've received 2 points.
It's not about you, Leon.
You not only succeeded,
but
but you beat the front runner as well. Moto Batyaba.
Okay.
And that is surprising no one because Moto Batbayar is of the Unicorn Clan as well. So, and she was kind of the favored one going into this competition. Yeah. But you have proven yourself to be very capable as well. So,
I just didn't do it in a fiery.
Koretane, Rioto?
You want to go next or should I go
What?
next?
I'll go.
Rioto clearly uncomfortable by the idea
I approach this.
of getting on the horse.
And it's my turn to just grin at you.
Just look across with just a blank, unenthused look as I.
If this weren't a competition, I would smack the rump of that horse the moment you got on it. Just have a good one.
I'll look at you for a second and go.
You can do that, but you'll lose 1 honor.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's tempting.
There's a brief look between the two of us where we go,
It would be so easy.
You'll also probably be disqualified if you don't
Yes.
don't do it stealthily enough.
I just wants to get it over with.
Okay.
And pretty much as fast as possible. It's actually, you can't even rely on textbooks. It's not really his forte. He's just attempting to use the basics that he knows and a more aggressive stuff.
Do it fast and aggressive and get it over with. That's fire all the way down.
Cool. So,
Okay.
And the winner is No.
Well,
No, there's a success there.
that's fine.
One success and a strife.
Yes.
Pass
So
master.
I will take the strife as this horse and I are not simpatico.
Sure.
We
You have to fight a little bit. Yeah.
we have an understanding that we need to get through this, but nothing more. As
You and I are just cohorts.
that is all. As I complete it, and
Did you get 2 successes?
Utaku Oichi is... She's not impressed, but you've done your due diligence. You have completed the course, and so you have proven your proficiency. You get 1 point. Because the TN was only 1 for that one, so you do succeed. However, you notice that Hitoshi and another contestant, Mirumoto Hinata, both fail at this event as well.
Oh my god, what do we need to do for this?
So Hitoshi is not doing so.
Cheat?
Probably cheat
I can't.
at this point.
I'm not the cheating kind.
just side eyes.
Koretane?
So, if I succeed here, I'm imagining Koretane, like, only succeeding through almost sheer luck
Sure.
in this.
Okay.
Like, gets up there and has to find his way out of every bad situation he gets into, get up on the horse, slides off side saddle as he's supposed to be grabbing the flag. All these little things where it's like, things are going wrong, but if he succeeds, he somehow manages to find a way to take that and turn it into an advantage.
So that sounds like error to me. Clever. Looking for workaround and indirect paths.
Mm-hmm.
Flexible.
I was definitely leaning a bit more towards the innovate side of fire, but yeah, I could see both.
I was also going to avoid out of that too. They're very I don't know. It seems like the fortune or fate, right? And that seems very voidish.
Well, this is. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
This is a negotiation. So you two tell me what. Based on what you were describing, I was thinking like you're reacting to situations that are happening to you in as graceful a way as possible, but luck mostly doing the job, right? So
And yeah, maybe it would be better to...
it's between air and water for me in that respect.
I see. Okay. With fire, I guess with innovate, it would be... It's not on accident, it's on purpose.
Yes.
He's trying new things and...
Creative and fierce, exactly. Yeah.
If they succeed...
Where it sounds like to me you're doing it's just accidentally succeeding.
Your dad does not want to be sticky. It's actually his
Oh, yeah, that
least
was not
favorite thing.
food. So yeah, we'll go with the fiery approach.
Okay, gonna
of
go with fire.
trying things out. Okay.
Can you try to innovate on the rope, of course?
Well,
Yeah.
Did you put my gummy bear on the back of a horse?
that's your horse.
Thank you.
It's good to have props.
Props are good. I do kind of want to lean into famously successful again.
And those are you two without horses.
Again, these are public
Yeah.
events, so that
Yeah, I've sent my horse away as quickly as possible.
And I don't know if... I don't think I could spin that advantage to find a way to help. Actually, no.
Yo, Zo, put the caramel away, please. Don't pick at the bread.
I might... No, we'll try to reroll it, see if we get a better one. Yeah. Well, plenty of base successes. Yeah, we'll take that. 3 successes.
3 successes.
And one of them explodes. Come on,
Play away,
opportunity. Yes, we'll take it.
Okay, so you've got 2 strife there.
Mm-hmm. 2 strife, 3 successes,
And
1
opportunity.
opportunity.
3 successes.
The opportunity is I want to really look into Hitoshi and try to
Okay.
understand his weaknesses
Mm-hmm.
and his strengths, and maybe use that to coach him on the next challenge that's coming up.
Okay.
Give him a couple of pointers in maybe a
Oh.
slightly demeaning way.
You know that per the rules of the event and the organization of the individual competitions, it's going to be unlikely that you'll be able to do anything meaningful to Hitoshi now. You could, however, give him pointers after today has ended in the long period afterwards that he could then utilize during the next day. So taking a good look at Hitoshi, it looks like he moves his. He has a tall, graceful demeanor, which reminds you of honestly most Crane Clan members. And for some reason, it looks like this event he was sort of doomed from the start. It's clear that he just does not know his way around a horse. Horses don't react well to him. It was clear that this was just sort of a shot in the foot to begin with. But you've also been keeping track of things, and you've noticed that Hitoshi seems to be... Okay, so you've gone through 3 events so far. Sumai, which was judged by Hida Goruharu of the Crab Clan. Heraldry, 4 events so far. Heraldry, Doji Murashige of the Crane Clan. Athletics, Kakita Naomori of the Crane Clan. And this horseback riding event, Utaku Oichi of the Unicorn Clan. You've noticed that both of the Crane Clan events he's failed. Now, he's also failed the horseback riding event, but he did okay in the Sumai event. It just, for some reason, you're noticing that, statistically speaking, he's failing the Crane Clan events more often than not.
Something's up.
It's also clear that he has a little bit of difficulty
Round horse.
restraining himself. He seems to... His composure is not as good as some of the other contestants. And so he shows outwardly his disappointments and frustrations more than your average samurai in training.
Maybe we could use that to our advantage.
So that is 3 points for you, Koretane. Because how many successes was that? It was 4?
No.
How many successes?
3 successes.
So you beat the TN, you used the fire approach, and you beat the front runner.
How did you beat me? I got 4 successes.
Didn't beat...
Part-time.
You used Earth.
But I got 4 successes.
Right. So you got 1 for beating the TN and 1 for beating the front runner.
Yeah.
But you don't get the extra point for using the approach.
I know, but how did Koretane beat me when he got fewer successes than I did?
Because it's
Did he
not
beat the
beating
front
you.
runner?
It's not... you don't become the front runner, it's the part-time thing. You have to think of it like that.
Oh.
The projected winner.
There's some NPC every round who's the front runner. It's never us.
Yeah.
Like somebody gets on
That's
the mic
not
and
how it
like, this is the guy to beat.
I see.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise there's an opportunity for one of you to do some like explosive success, and then in order to get that point, you'd have to get like 6 successes or whatever.
Or like in my
So
case,
it's compared to
4,
one
yeah.
NPC who's sort of like the
So what was
favorite.
the...
I see. Okay.
So what was the approach you needed to get the extra point?
Fire.
Fire,
Okay.
fierce and bold.
So, but if you would get a point if you not only succeeded, but also if you used the appropriate. Correct.
Yeah.
So would I get 2 points in the event because I used the fire approach, but also succeeded?
You got the 1, so yes, you would have 2 points.
I just want to make sure in case if I missed something.
Yes.
So I
Details.
7
Fake
points for Taiko,
Till you make it.
9 points for Rioto.
Jeez.
So you're already set. So no matter how you do for the rest of this competition,
Just
you have major improvement.
For the rest of it.
just
And Koretane, you have 7 points.
Hey.
You are tied with Taiko. Okay. They bring some servants out, and they're able to sort of corral the horses and begin moving them back into the academy grounds. And you see that you are now heading outside of the field, back through the forested area where the obstacle course was. And it looks like you're returning to that same gallery that had the heraldry contest in it. Only inside now, the place, all of the heraldic symbols and things that are mounted and hung have been removed. And you see that there is the room is mostly empty now. There is a low table, such that you could sort of sit, sort of cross-legged style behind it. And there's a panel of 3 judges. You see that, again, most of the room is empty, and it looks like the students are all filing in and taking their sort of folded leg seats out in a kind of a reception sort of style in the audience, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And one by one, students are being called up, and the judges, specifically you can see that Doji Murashige of the Crane Clan, the one who judged the heraldry event, has made a return here. Ikoma Ikehata of the Lion Clan is here. And then Shosuro Tomoe of the Scorpion Clan is also here. You hear Ikoma Ikehata say, "I hope you all recall the lessons of your parents well when comporting yourself as a samurai should." And as they call the first person up, it seems that this is the conduct trial, where they ask questions of etiquette, courtesy, or ceremony. And the contestants, it's communicated that they are graded also not only on their answers but on their conduct during the test as well. So that's either, this trial is either culture or courtesy. That's up to you. And the TN is 2.
I think Koretane is going to approach first,
Okay.
at least of our group. And take a very, I keep looking at enlightened and want to find another word for it, but very much so take that, world-weary approach. I've lived through a lot of things. I understand not only what you're supposed to do, but why you're supposed to do it. This kind of, again, to lean in on an enlightened approach.
That sounds like Earth to me. Grounded, slow, thoughtful,
Was going
sturdy,
for
and
Void,
braced.
but
Void is unclouded by thought and reacting instinctively.
Yeah.
In a social scene, it reflects cryptic mysticism and an aura of wisdom beyond one's words. Although I can see
the
your
latter half
weariness
of that,
might actually, So that's up to you. I mean, you can take whichever ring you feel most appropriate.
I'll lean on Void for this one.
Okay, can do Void.
Yeah.
So culture or courtesy, whichever one is better for you.
Courtesy.
Courtesy. Okay.
Get to actually use one of the light dice.
And TN 2. Gotta make 2 successes.
And what was the little quote we were told?
I hope that you recall the lessons of your parents well when comporting yourself as a samurai should.
Oh, this is going to be weird. We did get a chance to regain strife.
Remember,
yes?
at the end of all these competitions,
Okay.
it's your strife goes back down to half your composure.
All right. Well,
Oh, it's for everyone. Okay.
After the
write
scenes are
that.
done, and I'm considering each of these competitions, these events as being scenes.
So that's 2 explosive successes and 1 regular success.
Nice.
And 2 strife.
So you've at least got 3 successes there.
Yep.
If you can keep all those dice.
I can keep 3.
Okay.
I've already got another. I'll use this guy. I kind of want to see what it's like.
So an
popping over
opportunity
the edge. Ooh.
and another explosive success.
If I take it, then I hit my threshold.
Your composure threshold.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you hit?
So
Is that the break, or is that...
the character has an unmasking. You don't lose control of your character. You have an outpouring of some emotion, right? In breach of social etiquette, right? And it has an effect on the story. Sometimes it'll put you in a position of disadvantage. Sometimes that will embarrass you, or what have you, right? When you do unmask, your strife disappears. Like it immediately empties, right? That's just a thing that happens to you, right?
Okay.
Let me double check the strife thing.
It may not necessarily mean you fail it either.
I mean, you can still
Yeah.
succeed and also,
So with that other explosive success, that's another roll, right? Explosions continue to explode?
yeah.
Well, let's see how bad this can get.
So you are taking it though, right?
I think so, yeah. I like the idea of, especially with the Void Enlightened approach, somehow going maybe even a little too far with that.
Yeah, once per scene, when a character is compromised, which means that their strife is in excess of their composure. So you can go up to...
2. Okay, so I
But
would
you
be
can't go over.
right on the limit with this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine then. I was kind of hoping to see what it's like to go over, but... So that is a grand total of 4 successes and 2 opportunity.
4 successes and 2 opportunities. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to ask the question, is there any way I can use those opportunity to try to help out Hiroshi in some way, shape, or form?
You can answer the questions in a way that are somehow illustrative to Hitoshi. You know, sort of almost aiming your
Inspiring.
answers at him in the audience rather than at the judges themselves.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm imagining is that your character is that, well, you know, so they ask you, like, who receives the last cup in the tea ceremony? And so you do answer the question, but you also say, now, as part of the you know, this is, in my clan, you know, there is some minor deviances from this in regard to this, and the Mantis clan, they, for instance, do this. And so it's sort of like
Dropping
gently
a nod
massages
in his
hints
way.
and nods towards Hitoshi. So yes, you use one of your opportunities to kind of give him a leg out.
Definitely.
What about your other opportunity?
Dog it out.
Take take a strike away.
Let's see if we can learn a bit about the lion here.
The Lion Judge, Ikoma Ikehata. Ikoma and then Ikehata. Ikehata.
Okay. Dog noises.
He's bowing to you. He wants to play.
Ikoma Ikehata is a sort of a broad-chested man, a long sort of mane of hair, appropriately enough, a kind of a sort of
No.
salt and pepper sort of
I know it's not exactly.
Wizened
aesthetic to him. Not wizened so much as on the opposite end of that, he looks grizzled.
Ah,
He looks
okay.
like he's seen some stuff and has survived on, you know, gone through the other side. And you notice that as a member of the Lion Clan, his you might expect his expectations you might expect him to sympathize with, say, a fire approach or something, given that the Lion Clan is the warlike clan, the right hand of the emperor that's always striking, right? But you see that in his exchanges with Master Tomoe and Master Murashige, they seem to be concurring on, and they seem to be reacting in similar ways when people use a more grounded approach, being cautious and analytical in that way.
Okay. Good to know.
So you got how many successes? Was it 4?
4.
4 successes.
And I'm
1,
Don't
6, 2.
use his.
So you beat the
discretion.
front
It's a
runner, so
toy.
you got 2 points.
It's not a toy.
I wanted to lay on it. Exact.
So that puts you at 9 points. You are now matching Rioto.
I am a samurai.
You're officially a samurai, provided that you don't
Die.
murder a lord tomorrow or something like that. Okay, so Utaku or Taiko or Rioto. I'll use your given names.
Well, you're on the floor, so I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
So it's either culture or courtesy. It's up to you. Whichever
Don't
one's
have
better.
either. So
Okay.
I'm totally gonna go measured and learned.
So Earth.
Sure don't want to fuck this one up.
Sure. You're trying to get 2 successes.
Yep.
Do any of your advantages or disadvantages apply?
Quick reflexes.
In this case, no. I wouldn't say that.
I mean, I have anxieties, but that's not gonna help me.
Well, if we can all agree that they apply, well, if the 2 of us can agree that they would apply, then
It's perfectionism, so like
yes,
has
that
a
absolutely.
great
apply.
desire to like make sure she gets everything perfect.
Then you need to. Then that would apply.
Yeah, you could lean into that, and if you fail the attempt, you at least get that void point out of it.
Yeah, what do you do?
Do I get to
Void points?
re-roll
What's the
anything?
best?
You do what it says on the.
You reroll successes and explosive successes. I asking for that one?
Generally, the nice part about all these dice is that they're pretty
those are
favorable.
Adversities.
It's just
generally speaking.
it's just trying to get a face without a strife is difficult. So
No, man. Like, my anxiety just gives me 3 strife.
Oh, dang.
So, if it doesn't
Oh,
help
yeah,
me,
yeah.
then why would I take it?
Anxiety is compared to adversity.
Yeah.
It's not so much that you would take it, it's just that if it applies and narratively in the situation, then it's just in the same way that
yeah, my grandeur.
Ryoto's
Right.
delusions of grandeur apply there as well.
I mean, you still get the void point, so...
This is another thing narratively to just kind of put you see how you can wiggle your way out of something. So
Well, I got 1 success, 2 strife, and 1 opportunity
Okay, what do you want to use your opportunity?
to get another success.
No,
We can dream.
Okay.
please stop doing
I'll remove a strife since I'm going to take 3 strife.
Okay,
So that way I only take 4 strife instead of 5.
2 and then the 2 that are on the dice, right?
No, I get 3 strife for my perfectionism,
Yeah, plus the strife that you're suffering if you're
which
keeping
is
it.
5. But if I use the
Minus
opportunity to
1
get
is
rid
4.
of 1,
Okay, that's, we're on the same page, yeah.
and I fail, which is super great for me.
Unfortunately, your perfectionism prevents you from getting out. As you are conversing with the judges, you are doubling back on yourself, trying to correct minor mistakes that you made in your previous answer, and you're frustrating and flustering them to the point where
It's just
they're
my real
missing the
life. Yeah.
So you only got 1 success,
Yep.
and you used the Earth approach.
Sure did.
Let's see. Okay, so you receive 0 points for this one, unfortunately.
Yep.
Rioto.
Enough, Leon.
having after doing some physical work and then adorning back my nice robes and fancy fan, and I go to
And
charm the pants off of all 3 of my judges.
Okay.
So I take it.
Grab
It's
all
Advantage.
generally older men.
yeah.
Not that that's no. I mean,
They
got
could
a
be.
type.
They
Yeah.
could be strahd sexual too. It's fine.
Struts. But
It's my
really,
new favorite phrase.
but as to take a very flattering, like as I,
okay.
because it seems like if we're talking about like courtesies and like culture, very much flattering different families, especially leaning on the ones that like are represented
Scorpion?
here. Yeah. Oh, most definitely, and the lion and like all of them here. Right?
So that sounds like water to me. The character
Yeah.
is gregarious, seeking to please and ingratiate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you're gonna do water, culture, or courtesy for you.
Courtesy.
Courtesy. Yeah. So you need at least 2 successes.
You get it. Well, that's fun.
That's 3 explosions.
Jesus.
I was about to ask where all the explosions were.
I
And,
mean,
Now keep track of your strife.
Yeah, no,
As
we're-
soon as it goes over composure, we're gonna have to do.
We're gonna do
I'm
some
at
fun.
9.
interesting
I
stuff.
get to go back down.
I am at
Yeah, at the end of
6.
this.
I would love. I don't think it would be this character if I didn't go
All the way.
all
Oh,
the
yeah.
way,
Full
especially on this, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Your chance to redeem yourself after not doing so well at the last one.
You are Lord of Kiss Ass.
That
one of the things I am Lord at.
Another explosion.
Jesus.
If you want to keep going, you can keep going.
Now, since you're using your water ring, that you keep 3. But then rolling those, you can roll and keep. So
Yes.
you could conceivably keep all.
What's your strife at, man?
4,
Out of...
8.
8.
I mean,
1,
you're...
2, 3, 4, 5.
You could use an opportunity
So-
to get rid of a strife.
You could have fun with an unmasking.
I I thought about it too. Actually, instead,
Kinda wanted it.
I'm going to. So here we've got the 4 successes, and I feel like personally I'm on a roll. Like I'm like I am in the zone as far as like answering these questions, and then there's a moment where Rioto is considering going for gold, right? Like continuing with more
Now,
successes.
keep in mind, those extra dice you rolled, you don't have to keep.
Oh, of course. What he's going to do instead is actually, instead of taking the success to continue, like, just making him super awesome, he's going to take the opportunity
Okay.
and partway through his, like, special monologue he's got going on of all these questions, he's going to use the opportunity to actually attempt to help save face with Utaku, and attempt to tie some of these answers in with being like, with her answers being like not.
It's okay, folks.
Like having her seen that she didn't do as bad as she did, and like we should commend her on the fact that she was attempting to be so
Okay. Yeah.
like.
Kind of socially massage that and say, like, she did a fine showing.
Right, being like,
Despite-
even though she, still in a very Rioto way, being like,
Sure.
even though she may not have got the correct answer,
Like I did.
like I did, but still very much trying in his own way to look out for his friend. So,
Okay. So
Alternate
you
between wanting to stab him
And not stab him.
and not stab him quite as much.
yeah. So
so what's your total on?
Varying levels of stabbing.
4
1, 2,
successes.
3, 4 successes. You used your
Little
opportunity
bits.
for Taiko.
Yes, and put myself in a cold sweat by the time I was done after being like so entranced by this.
You need chill, puppy dog.
So Rioto, you used the water approach. You got 4 successes. You've earned 2 points. So, at the end of the day, make sure that your strife is back down to half of composure. At the end of the day,
Oh, of course.
the current runnings for the 3 of you: Taiko,
7.
7 points;
Yep.
Rioto, 11 points; Koretane, 9 points. So all you need is 1 more point to ensure your Genpuku, and the 2 of you are already set. So, after the conduct trial is over, again, the students are brought forward back into the courtyard of the Kakita Academy. And you see that, Kakita Toshimoko, the master sensei of the school, presents himself, gives another brief speech thanking everyone for their participation today, thanking them for the work that they've put in refining their skill, their courtesy and composure in conducting these events, and he encourages a lot of you to rest and relax this evening. He also says, I would also encourage our students here to visit one of the finer establishments here in town if you wish to unwind, so to speak. I would encourage it, but of course, as our ancestors would caution, one should not overindulge. And there's almost the tone that he takes with this is like just barely improper, just barely too suggestive. Like, go get wasted, kids. And so he encourages the students to go to the nearest sake house and either celebrate or drown their sorrows, because tomorrow the events will continue. And with that, he dismisses the students and the staff of the championship, and that they will meet again tomorrow at dawn.
How is our friend doing? Did he do well in the composure thing?
Hitoshi was the only other person to fail that courtesy trial, that conduct trial, I should say.
I
Boy, I
tried.
feel even worse now.
I tried.
That's
So he is doing a miserable job.
Really? No one else failed that?
Literally,
he has 1 point right now.
yeah, he's got
And
1 point.
He needs
8.
8.
In 6 events.
Well, there's 7 more in 6 events. So...
Yikes. He has to pass all of them. Or do exceptionally well in, like...
A lot of them.
2 of them. 3 of them.
Ooh.
As I'm still fanning myself after my wonderful performance.
Take your fan and smack you in the head.
It's a lethal weapon.
How rude.
I do it so fast no one ever notices them.
Oh, yeah.
My creek reflexes.
After what I did for you out there.
Like mid-fan, it's just gone for a second and back.
Yeah. Hey. Cut it out.
There's some things I'm good at, there's some things I'm not at.
Okay, so
Should we tell our kid goodnight before we start the next day?
That's
Sorry.
fine.
We can try to figure out what Leon's up to.
I don't know what the hell our dog is doing. Yeah, you.
Looking
what
at
are you
board
doing?
games.
You're not gonna play board
You
game,
don't have
man.
phones.
Yeah, I like how that's the one thing reliably when talking about animals and not being able to play board games.
It's the phones. You need phones. Like, you might be able to play some card games without them, but it's so much easier when you can pick things up.
So, a few hours later, you don't remember choosing to visit the so-called poisoned water sake house,
Oh, Jesus.
but here you are nonetheless.
We
How did we
made
get here?
mistakes.
You were essentially
Here's your idea.
the
No,
little
I said that to I was like,
Yeah.
wait, how did we come to this?
That's my reply. Like, as you're about to say that, just we made mistakes.
No.
A loud and triumphant crowd of your fellow contestants is also here. Most of the other contestants are drinking nearby. The 3 of you are seated at a nearby table enjoying your sake. And it seems like the other contestants are sort of also clumped in this general area of the sake house. They are all either celebrating, they're having some samurai in training are leading their fellows in song. Some are having conversations, politely griping about the events that they failed, or celebrating their victories. All except Hitoshi, who is sitting sullenly near one wall, and he absolutely refuses to participate in any of the merriment going on.
Probably had to go talk to him.
Let's make a friend.
Well, you don't have to. But it looks to me like talking to people is really your specialty.
I know what you're trying to do.
You seemed real gung-ho there. Looks like you had to stop yourself, to be honest.
I didn't think you... Never mind.
Alright, you flattered me enough.
I mean, I know he's not an older man.
Oh, it's actually... I scored very well in that. Thank you very much.
So did I.
You did. I thought you were about to pass out.
It's not for me. All right, let's go meet this guy.
Yeah. I ran out of gum, guys. All right,
Well,
so,
remember that
here it is.
that you did meet him originally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go.
He was the
Yeah, he was
fellow
the
at,
jerk,
at the
yeah.
inn.
I kind of pissed in his cornflakes.
Yes.
Maybe I'll approach first because I
Yeah.
haven't pissed him off.
yeah, that's the other thing too. I'm just like,
You got to repair that bridge.
no, I don't want to repair it.
You got to repair that bridge.
Maybe I'll approach first.
You
since
approach
I haven't-
first. I'll convince him to repair the bridge.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You see him sitting over there. He is nursing his small cup of sake, taking brief sips. He sees you approach. Doesn't say anything. Continues to drink.
I'll just sit down with him.
You need to cut down some bamboo, make a little plank, and
Rough
get
day.
over that bridge.
I don't want.
You-
You were about to. You literally
You
made fun
ridiculing
of his
me?
family.
I'm
No.
going to go over there and say hi.
Did you not see how the competition went? You were there along with the rest of us.
Sure.
Do you think I'm having a fine day?
Ooh.
Ooh. Boy, you sure
He's-
are friendly, aren't you?
I'm just saying, he's not.
I don't-
Nosed.
You see him set down his sake cup in
He's
frustration.
himself.
He puts
He's alive.
fingers
That's
to
what
his
they asked.
temples.
That's what the world.
I don't understand why I'm here.
I know that's asking.
What do you mean? Do you not want to become a samurai?
Of course I do. It is important to me that I become a samurai, that I bring honor and recognition to the Mantis clan, to my clan.
Okay.
The honor and respect they deserve.
So, what do you mean by your comment about not knowing why you're here?
You're fine. That's
Surely you know that the Mantis clan is a minor clan, a clan of little regard with respect to the mighty ones of the crane or the lion.
It's always good to have
the
those
scorpion.
in high places.
Normally,
Whatever you say.
members
So fine.
of clans such as mine are
I
not
will.
even
It's hard.
invited to the Topaz Championship. And yet here I am. Confusingly
You
enough.
can join the.
I do not want to squander the opportunity, but I do not understand it nonetheless.
But, I mean, I don't mean to get philosophical on you here, friend. Oh, and I'll introduce myself to him. By the way, from the Unicorn Clan.
What up?
But,
Unicorn represent.
rainbows everywhere. No. But it seems to me that by being hung up on the fact that you are here, you are squandering your opportunity to be here. If you don't get out of your own head, then what will be the point of you coming in the first place?
I don't think that my failures in this competition are entirely my fault.
I feel like that's a good time to interject.
Scooch a little closer to him.
You're not wrong.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no.
You're the one from the inn, aren't you?
Wait,
Yes.
wait,
Yes, we are.
don't. He's just...
Are the two of you friends together? What is this?
Look,
This is ridiculing me, isn't it?
No.
We traveled here together, but no, she is of the Unicorn clan, and I am not.
Yeah, she's filthy. I really don't like to associate when I get the chance.
Their patronizing attitudes don't have anything to do with the fact that they do want to help you.
It's-
Why?
Well, that
Because
I don't.
something dishonorable is going on. You are, as you mentioned, being cheated. Specifically, it seems, by the Crane clan.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew every time I was participating in those events, one of those crane members always gave me the sourest look, as if they were willing me to fail. But why? Is it because of they do not respect the Mantis?
No.
They do not respect me? What? I don't understand.
You have mixed pedigrees.
Oh, for the love of... You know what? Maybe
sorry.
I
No,
should
but
just
it's
talk
not-
to
but
him.
But it's true. Let's be real, right? Let's not dance around this. You have an awfully close relationship with the Crane clan, do you not?
He might not know.
I don't. I am of the Mantis. We have no ties with the Crane, at least from my family.
We...
It's circumstantial.
Yeah. As we were traveling here, we came across some information that may be worthwhile to you, and to give you an idea of how to understand your situation, because it'll only help you prepare yourself for how to deal with it in the future.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I'm serious, though.
Yes.
He needs to understand this.
Just-
and I tell him some of the events of, like, seeing the paper, his relationship with, who's the Mantis? Is it the, his father is a Mantis or a Crane?
Based on the information
Yes.
that Satsume,
Yeah.
the Dead Emerald Champion, gave you, his father was a member of the Crane clan.
Oh, but he doesn't know. Okay, but who
He
and
doesn't seem to know.
right? His father is, but his father's brother is a Mantis. Is that it? What was the?
No, the brother-in-law was
The previous
the
Topaz
Emerald Champion. The
Emerald-
Doji
Emerald
Satsume.
Champion, yeah.
is brother-in-law to his dad.
His brother-in-law,
I
right?
believe so, right?
Yes, the address. You remember the
The letter
letter
was
that
addressed to you.
got you in the face?
Yeah.
It was addressed to the writer's brother-in-law, Kakita Toshimoku, and said, can only hope the fortunes bless you or curse you with children of your own one day, that you could see the true challenges of fatherhood. And then what you learned from the specter of Doji Satsume is that he spoke in mostly riddles, but he mentioned that Hitoshi should become a samurai worthy of his father.
So,
Before we continue this conversation, I'm just going to ask how this actually, how we,
Draw a family tree.
how this is all connected. 'Cause it's gonna
and I will
influence-
ask him about his relationship with his father.
So you're asking Hitoshi. It is completely inappropriate for me to discuss my parentage with strangers. You must understand this. It
I
is
see.
against my family's honor and my honor to do so.
I want to. I want to use a command and use Insight to, to be like, if you don't inform us of
Kinda
this,
goad him
we
into-
can't help you, and you can't help yourself, and you're going to be worthless regardless.
Okay, so you're preying on his emotions, yeah.
Yeah. So we are trying to assist you.
Whether you want it or not.
Whether you want it or not. I won't say that. But I'd just be like, you don't play games here that you are being messed with by the Cranes.
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot assist you in that endeavor if you will not cooperate.
With our investigation.
Yeah, exactly. But a little more massaged over like that.
Okay, so make a command check. All right. Using, you said you were inciting, so
Yes.
that's fire approach, right? And this is going to be a TN1 because Hitoshi already finds it difficult to sort of suppress his
Right.
frustrations and emotions, so it'll be easier for you to prey on those. Gotta get at least one success.
Done.
There we go. I won't. We're back at half, right?
Yes, now
okay.
this is a new scene,
Alright.
so you're back at
Oh,
half
okay.
your
Well, I can only
All
keep
that
2
drinking
anyway.
helped it.
So
You can keep two.
So I will, with my patience tested, attempt to not only succeed, but if there is additional information to be prodded out of him, that is attempted. I'm trying a little harder to get a little more out. So-
Okay, yeah. So you're leaning into his emotion, trying to get him to expose
Right.
more information than you have so far.
Sure.
Right.
First, right.
So, So basically, you say to him, "You're going to be useless if you don't."
Right. Yeah. It's the wrong way to probably tackle an inspirational speech, but instead of being like,
Save inspiration for later.
It's tough love.
yeah, like where some people would be like, "Hey, you should help us because if we, if you can tell us, we can help you and like make sure you aspire to be the same way I do with negative reinforcement, being like,
Look, man, you suck. Let's
Yeah.
suck up by telling us what you want to know.
bingo."
So we can fix your problems.
Yeah.
You got tons of them.
And also maybe a small bit about all of us being in it for Rakugo as a whole.
Do it for the band.
Probably just like face palming half.
Just one prolonged sigh.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, I realized maybe I was, like, I'm just being a jerk, so at the end, it's like an afterthought, like, oh yeah, by the way, Rakugo. But yeah, goading him into an answer. Also, you are all being eaten now.
Delicious. So, he at first Hitoshi is sort of looking at you blankly, almost as if he's not comprehending what's being said to him right now. And then you see him, his expression sort of curdles, and he looks at you with this sort of like petulant rage in his eyes, and he says, I find it very difficult to believe that you or any of your fellows, or Rokugan, for that matter, the whole of the damn country, has any interest in seeing me succeed. I don't believe you, and I don't believe your false words, and I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if I was meant to be abandoned or not. I have been taken in by the Mantis clan. They have become my family, and I am going to show them the path to honor and glory, such that will match the great clans.
And act like it and show it.
You see him angrily pick up his sake cup and jug and stand up. I bid you good evening. With that, he walks off to a different portion of the sake house. Again, away from the merriment crowd.
Well, that worked. That was inspirational. That's very, I did good. It's like
the moment you start taking a drink, it's like, that could have gone better.
He needed to hear that.
You should have told him about the dream.
I don't think he would have bought that for 1 minute. Do you? Like seriously?
It wouldn't have been any worse than what just happened.
Probably would have been better.
He needs to get in touch with himself. Like seriously. He keeps... His whole form is like this half mantis, half crane, and that's like a half bug, half bird. That doesn't work.
Well, I bet if we hadn't patronized the hell out of him, he might be willing to listen to that.
I think he walked away with that with some added benefit. Literally. Throughout the whole competition, all he did, he was unfocused. Not in tune with himself.
He was also being cheated.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But now he has some insight.
I am just concerned about his composure.
We're dealing with someone who is far too...
Volatile?
Yes, at the moment to think clearly. People in that position must be showed a path, not simply led to find their own.
Well, I provided him a wake-up call. I'll leave it on you two to show him his path.
Thank you.
Now,
That's
excuse me.
So generous of you.
I'm going to go get everybody else a little bit too intoxicated.
Please do.
Bartender.
At that moment, you hear the door to the poison sake water house slam open. You see, filtering in are 10 poorly dressed, rough-looking figures. You see the one at the forefront, a dark-eyed man with a lean and hungry look like a wolf. He shouts out to the owner of the sake house, "Wine, now! And for my friends as well!" And you can see them, they sort of take stock of the entire sake house. You see them leaning in to take a look at the students. It's clearly that they're adults, right?
Right.
There are some young adults among them, but it's clear that they are older than the student body there. You can see them looking around. You see one shove one of the Crane clan members off of the bench that they were sitting at. Another actively spits at the feet of a Unicorn clan member. And you can see nearby this lean, wolfish fellow looks over, picks up one of the one of the Crab Clan members by the sort of the scruff of their clothes and says, "Look at this motley assortment we've got. These must be the ugly children, and when the clans marry away as soon as they can." And you see he laughs in a cruel, guttural way, and the rest of his poorly dressed friends laugh as well. You can see everyone is the student body and also the staff of the sake house are very sort of tense and quiet, uncertain of what to do now.
We should go before we do something that gets us disqualified.
Is there anything, any rules that we should be aware of about, like,
Behavior outside of the
Skirmishes?
test.
Yes. Mhm.
You know
Killing
that
some ruffians in a bar.
From their behavior and from their look, these are probably Ronin, masterless samurai.
Oh, I guess I should
Right.
say not them. I was saying like any.
No, I'm explaining the
sure,
situation.
excellent. Okay.
These are probably based on their
Yes.
look,
Mhm.
their hair, their clothing, and everything, their manners. It seems like these are the stereotypical Ronin, right? They're crude and they don't adhere to Bushido in the slightest anymore.
Not the super cool one in 13 Assassins.
For instance,
Yeah.
yes.
Wish it was him.
You know that in a public setting like this, in a sake house, Bushido demands that a samurai, and a samurai in training for that matter, compose themselves with honor and dignity and refrain from using violence unless absolutely necessary. And that includes like physically interacting with people. Like samurai and samurai in training aren't meant to touch each other unless it's necessary.
Yeah.
Right? Unless it's called for by the event.
So we really do just need to go. Before one of us loses their temper. Probably me.
Talk it over. I'll be right back. You can see them actively harassing members of the student body.
We need to find a back way out of here.
It will only be a moment until they notice Hiroshi is a easy, alone target.
God damn it.
As much as I would like to slip out of here tonight without getting into a fight, I am sure they will find him and, well,
Provoke him?
yes,
Smoke him.
if not worse.
I don't wanna
Who
get
has money?
disqualified. That's
You
very
have
good.
money, don't you?
He's got a face like money.
Not my type, but I believe it.
I don't wanna
Buy
miss
them a
this-
bunch of wine. Get them to leave them
I
alone.
was considering doing just that, especially if we need to protect our new friend. All right, I can work my famous charm.
I will see if we can convince Hitoshi that it is time for some fresh air instead of more sake.
I will try to find a way out of here.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, scares
Because
me how
anything
girlfriend
they're
now.
going to want from me is not going to be...
I'm buying around
Mm.
and leaving. While the rest of the student body can fend for themselves.
Why don't you just buy them some bottles?
That's the game plan.
Throw some koku at him.
They get the cheap shit. They get the cheap.
Oh, they
Okay.
will probably expect the most out of it. All right.
So maybe like an investigation and
And
I'm just trying to think, like, because I think I'm gonna just attempt to charm, or then a trick. I think trick would be. That's what I want to do.
because yeah, you kind of want to distract them from what's actually going on.
Okay, that's right. So, yeah, and then they're gonna have to find Hiroshi.
So you're going to distract them, you're going to get Hiroshi. I'm going to find an exit.
Sounds like a plan. Should keep us somewhat safe.
This is so tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. It
Thank
was
you.
just a quick box. Quick bread mix.
Still appreciated.
It's like a
Nonetheless.
cinnamon swirl thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always
it
a
is
good
very
choice.
good, but
And
given that I have to like bribe my sister to get out of bed before like 11 o'clock on the weekend, I was like, okay, I just make breakfast, and then she shows up for the most part on time.
Nice.
I'll use my baking skills for good or evil. But I might make some scones too.
Lawful good cinnamon rolls.
Last week I made blueberry scones like I did a couple weeks ago and shared, but I made the glaze very lemony, so it was like tart and cut the sweet. It was good.
Cut into that sweetness.
I was asking my sister if they were too tart, and she was like, no, of course not. I'm like, are you sure? And she was like, actually, yes, it was. Just give them all to me. Don't eat them anymore. I'm like, okay. I know they're good now. Thank you.
Nailed it.
And Jason was like, tell her to fuck off.
I know you want praise, but I don't want
Yeah. I'm too nice, and my sister does not do as much as he thinks she should. So, and he's probably right. He usually is.
Sometimes you need a bit of that brutal honesty.
I mean, that's what Jason is very good for. I'm just overly accommodating. I'm sure no one's noticed.
I have a lot of trouble being blunt myself.
I don't have a problem being blunt. I'm just like super nice and accommodating all the time. Like, if you don't want to do something, then I'll just suck it up and do it because I'd rather be inconvenienced than inconvenient to you. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, no, I know that.
so, like every Sunday we get alone together. We always do what Jason wants, and he's like, "Why don't we do what you want?" I'm like, "Cause you don't want to do what I want to do. Like, you don't want to go sit in a pottery shop and paint." He's like, "Yeah, but I will." I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't want to." And so it just goes back and forth until it's like, "Oh my God, we're gonna do what you want to do."
How romantic.
I like to paint. He does not. And I literally spent 4 hours at
What's that place down near the levee? Is that what
yeah,
I'm thinking of? Fired Up?
Yeah,
No?
Fired Up.
All Fired Up. Yeah, I literally spent 4 hours at All Fired Up painting a plate for my sister.
Oh, that's so cool.
Nice.
That'd be a fun activity to do sometime.
I gotta make mugs.
Right?
Mm,
It's a good way for like Christmas presents too, you know?
Actually, I don't know if that interests anybody, but I think that'd be a good way for me to procure some Christmas gifts. So if anybody would be willing to want to make a fun group
I
gathering
am
out of it,
always down to do that. Jason
Sounds
will be
like
like, eh, you know.
I can embarrass myself in front of all of you with my painting. It's
mean,
miniatures,
Don't
no
worry,
problem.
I'm right there.
Look,
Yeah.
you've literally seen stuff I've painted
It's
like
so
in the house.
great.
So
It's
it's
awesome.
down now because it's not Halloween, but
Yeah.
there's like one in my bedroom and one in the bathroom that I painted.
Awesome.
I'm looking up Taoist or Taoist quotes that I can try to throw at him right now. I think I got a good one to try to smooth things over and start things. I need a good one to like make a
I
point.
really like this
Hey,
character a
man.
lot. It really hurts me to play him the way I am, but he is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I don't like being the jerk.
I
in
like
real life, but I
playing
do.
them from time to time.
Yeah.
They were fun characters to get into in a situation like caters to them.
Right. Like I can do it like in small.
Small doses,
Yeah.
Like you don't want to go home and be like, I need to throw up because of how vile I've been.
Right.
I have a shitty low tolerance for that kind of thing. I can't.
Yeah.
Also,
Especially
it's not taken as well when women are super like asshole-ish.
Yeah, no. There's truth to that.
which is a shame.
I'm already, my character's already come off bitchy just for being assertive. You know what I mean? Like, so I usually just
You're already, the expectation already has you a couple of steps ahead of it. But
yeah.
still, those are like, as weird as it is, those are characters I grew up with and enjoyed the most. Like one of the first games with a story that I really got into, the main character is a woman who watched her father die, and that effectively gave her a reason to be kind of like a bitch all the time. And since everybody knows this, it's not that they're okay with it.
They've just like kind of.
It's an understanding, a
deal
level
with
of
it,
understanding.
Yeah, they're like, all right, we know you, like, you're going to be this way. We're not going to put up with it, but at the same time, like, she's just so much better at the tongue lashing than everybody else in the setting. So,
Yeah.
Like,
I grew up like, man, she's so like hard charging and like assertive. That's great. I mean, my father was is a real bastard, but he used to like complain he taught all of us to be like just mouthy. No one talks down to us. No one treats us like shit except him. And then, like, at one point when we all grew up, he's like, how'd I get such mouthy broads? And we were just like,
how do
you told us to be? And then got pissed when we turned it around on you.
No, my family is a whole bunch of, like, powder kegs just waiting to happen at any given point.
So
like,
you get used to that.
Well, so I get, like, growing up, it was very much like, it was always me, like, having to, like...
Stop the fuses?
Yeah, so I had to grow up attempting to be our family's diplomat.
Yeah.
So, like, constantly always being like, no, I mean, well...
Wait, they didn't mean this, they meant this.
or diffusing situations, or having to constantly... Because, like, oh, man, there's a large chunk of my family that's way more right-leaning than I care to want. And so it's just like...
All right, now. Just gotta... whole...
Especially with my mom, who's not, and it's just like...
Keep everyone at a distance.
My father likes to carry in public.
Well, okay.
And I've just pretty much been like, you bring that to lunch, we're leaving.
To be clear, a gun, not an egg
Oh, yeah.
or something.
No.
Well, yeah,
ostrich egg.
like open carry, right?
Yeah.
But that would be
gun.
way cooler.
I agree.
Just
An
open-
ostrich
I
egg?
wish it was an ostrich egg. I'd be like, hey, Dad, that's cool. That's eccentric. That's fine.
It's a
Why are
conversation
you
starter.
carrying? That's fine. You know, that's...
But the first time we brought a fucking gun to lunch, I was like, I don't want to see that. It makes me uncomfortable, and you're going to take that all off. Because my 10-year-old's like right there.
Yeah.
Bye.
Nice and simple.
Anyway, I should talk about my father. It makes me angry.
I just
family's
meant for
great.
you to talk about what you're going to do. With
Oh,
it.
we have that done.
We went past that.
Yeah, we were like, oh man,
We
It's
ran
like,
out
we were
of
talking about
topic.
like
We decided
characters
that,
we like to
like,
play, and then
30
like
seconds.
also like general communication approaches we take in life.
And how, like, I don't get to play the asshole-ish characters because I'm always playing a female, and we're already perceived as, like, being bitchy for being assertive, so I can't really play an asshole,
You always do that.
Without being
I mean, I
more,
say
like,
you go do that.
histrionic,
You
or
do what you
even...
want. We support.
you know.
Everybody supports you.
I support it.
And it
Yeah.
just, like, spiraled into something else. Anyway, so you're going to distract them.
Yeah. So here's
You're
our
going to find our friends.
Here's our grand plan.
and I'm gonna
Ace
find an
Combat
exit.
music, mission briefing music plays in the background as we describe.
We have a plan, though.
Do. So, my plan is to take some attention away from them by approaching these men and attempting to extend the olive branch, buy them all around.
Or 5.
We'll see where it gets. And then pretending to be their friend. Hopefully taking a smidge of heat off the other classmates. I don't care for the most part. If they still want to beat them up, I don't care. But mostly I want them to make sure that like their heat's off them while...
I'm going to go over, find
Hitoshi?
Hitoshi. I was about to say Hiroshi. Nope, wrong guy. Hitoshi. And basically try to convince him to be like, hey, look, I know we got off on the wrong foot. Let's go for a walk. Talk about things and stuff. Or even just, if that fails, pester him to the point of getting him to leave the establishment that is now filled with Ronin.
I'm going to find an exit. That's not the front exit.
That I can then hopefully take Hitoshi out of. And
That's not
you can then
cluttered
follow
with
off.
smelly men.
Okay. Let's see here. So, let's do your observation first.
Okay.
So that, I think, is a... We're going to call it TN2. It normally be TN1, but the place is kind of packed. And so
Yeah.
you're trying to move... You're trying to look in a way that's both both not completely obvious, but also is avoiding the obstructions of the tables and the moving staff members and these Ronin and stuff. So that's going to be a TN2. I don't have the sheet in front of me, so what's the equivalent of perception here?
I honestly wasn't sure. Tactics?
Yeah, give me a TN2 tactics roll.
Okay. Does it matter how I do this?
You explain to me how you do it.
I mean, I can't.
Do you want to speed through it? Do you want to be subtle about it? Do you want to try to do it in a clever way? Do you want to be cautious about it?
I think cautious is probably the way to go because
Then
we don't
that's
get
Earth.
noticed.
Okay, so you minute.
I want to be thorough, but I want to make sure.
So minute movements. You're not getting up and like, oh hey, you know.
Where's the exit? Yeah.
It's over there. Well, no.
Yeah, you're not an idiot.
Okay, well then
Okay.
do a TN2 tactics.
Oh, there's 2 exploding successes, 2 opportunities. Hold on, I need one more. That's another exploding. That's another success. Sorry. Okay.
Big boom.
So.
That looks good.
So I keep these 2 were regular. These are the exploding. Oh wait, another. No, that's. Yes. Okay. So.
That looks good.
These are all explosions. These were
No,
all
that's not
explosion
subtle.
dice.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, you're talking about ones that you've rolled already?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's 1,
1,
2,
2,
3.
3. Opportunity strife. 4, 5. 2 more strife.
But I get to keep 3.
Well, remember, if you're rolling from the explosions, you can keep those as well. It's just that your base that you can keep is 3.
So I can only keep 3 even if I did roll once from explosion?
No, what I'm saying is, normally you can only keep 3.
Yeah.
But an explosion means you get to roll and possibly keep the additional die.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I can actually keep another one since those are just my explosions. Because I had 2 explosion and then one of those explosions exploded and I exploded that one, which just
Yo,
got me my
dog.
3rd one.
How'd you like
I succeeded.
Yeah, dang.
I can tell you that. So that is
How much strife
1,
you want
2,
to take
3.
on?
Yeah.
for 5 successes, 3 strife, and 2 opportunity.
Okay.
So I think I will take 1 opportunity.
You're super panicking, but at the same time, you're getting stuff done.
I'll take one of those opportunity to get rid of a strife. How
Okay.
about that?
Remove a strife from you.
So that's only 2 strife,
Okay.
and I still have 1 opportunity. Can I use that opportunity to kind of see? I want to use that in such a way to aid us getting out unnoticed by these men. Is that possible?
Like, position a group of people in front of the exit.
Yeah, like, is there a way to do that, or do I need to pick something else?
It looks like... So because you're analyzing, you can't actually accomplish anything
Right.
here. But what you can do is learn of something you could accomplish.
Okay.
So what you're seeing here is that despite there being only a lot of movement from the Ronin, as they're sort of kind of controlling the space now, you see that the place is pretty tightly packed, and if there is a door in the rear, you can't see it from the main room.
Okay.
And you'd have to be moving through half of the student body, the contestants, and maybe staff to get there.
Okay.
So disrupting that many people on the way back to the rear of the sake house is going to be noticed either way. So you're going to have to you'll have to use the amount of people to your advantage or create some kind of confusion so that you can escape in the meantime. You also notice that the Ronin are sort of hovering around sort of the front half of the sake house, so between the 10 of them, it would make a straight shot to the front door pretty difficult.
So like, there was no
We'd have
way.
to, go over behind them and then, go...
You can't.
like go further into the sake house? Is that what you're talking about?
If you wanted to go out the rear, presuming that
No,
there is a
if
rear
I want to
door,
go out the front door
you'd have to go through
through
them.
them.
The sake house is not big enough to accommodate
Mm.
that you could conceivably circumvent them and they wouldn't notice. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So you're going to talk to Hitoshi,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay.
Once I have ascertained that there's not a way out through the rear and we have to go out through the front, I will follow over to Hitoshi.
Okay.
All right.
But that was for certain. No, there was no rear exit.
Not without like disturbing.
She'd have to
half
get
the
up
house.
and like rearrange herself in the room.
Right.
She was doing so cautiously, and so from her vantage point, she couldn't see.
Okay.
It's likely, given that it is a place of business, that they do probably get deliveries or need to have workers go in and out. There's probably a back entrance. It's not unusual to assume that, but you couldn't see it. You couldn't put eyes on it.
Where's the bathroom?
It's on the floor.
It's medieval Japan. There is no. You
Shit.
go outside.
No, that was my.
Literally in the middle of the road in some cases.
Yeah.
That was my fail-safe. Go to the
Yeah.
bathroom. Okay.
Although the odd thing is like
Can
people would do
Rokugan have
that, but
plumbing?
nobody would care.
I mean,
Like,
Rokugan does not have
there's that
flood.
weird sense
can
of
it?
privacy.
That requires a level of technology that's not there. But they could
It's
do
magic,
it.
though.
But they could do it in a way that's like less gross than the middle of the road. Yes.
Sure.
I think that's our
That was-
compromise.
Well, I'll wait till you two are done, and then I'll figure out something else to do.
Okay.
So what's your approach here?
I'm going with courtesy and void. I'm coming at this from a very like enlightened point of view and speaking literally in Taoist quotes.
Okay, sounds good.
So at first, just trying to like reach the situation, calm things down a little bit.
You can see in Atoshi's eyes there's a level of both fear and anger. It's clear that he's not ready for... He's neither in the mood for this, nor is he ready for an altercation between these men and him.
But yeah, I start with sincere words are not fine, and fine words are not sincere. To try to imply what was said before was at least sincerity.
Go ahead and roll your check. That'll be...
the preparatory side.
You never know.
We'll say that's an average. It's TN2. I mean, there's nothing wrong.
I mean, so far so good. We could get real close to like ready to explode again. Sure, let's take those 3, and that'll put me right at the strain limit. Nice. Okay, 4 successes and 3 strife.
Which puts you equal to composure. right?
Equal
What's
to
your
composure.
mindset when you approach this threshold as you go into this engagement?
A lot of the stress is coming from like, yeah, this is somebody who earlier I had denoted I was a better of, and now I am trying to effectively like humble myself and come to this person and try to teach him and uplift him a little bit through, of all things, Taoist philosophy.
So, you make your way over to Hitoshi. You deliver this sort of Taoist morsel of wisdom, and you see that he. It's clear that he's paying attention, but only halfway there. His eyes are still stuck on the wolfish Ronin and his compatriots. He says, I understand your words, Pheonix, but I find that the uncouth words of a scorpion are hardly my concern when these ruffians are in the room.
You didn't hear that?
I know, but my pride did. Somewhere,
Somewhere you.
yeah. It's Rioto's just like, ow. What?
I understand. Man's enemies are not demons, but human beings like himself. So perhaps we should simply avoid these enemies. My unicorn compatriot has been looking for an alternate exit to avoid altercation with these masterless swine.
You see him actually, he's been, of course he's moved to an adjacent wall from when previously when he left you.
Mm-hmm.
He's been sitting against this wall. You see him actually get up and sort of straighten his clothing out, adjust his collar. I don't think I want to leave. Oh boy. So your check.
I'm real good at inciting.
That's not what we want to do right now. Inciting's the
Well, the good thing is
opposite.
he didn't reject your plan outright.
Yeah.
He did listen to you.
To rationalize that I'm coming into scene after them kind of doing their thing, I am approaching them with, like, bottles in hand. Whatever the appropriate type of money requirement of me is, we'll say that, but...
Throw a Koku
it's
at it.
Well, we'll ignore it for now.
Okay, sure. And be like, friends, please, no need to get rough. Instead, let's drink. And like as he like gestures, everybody starts handing out either bottles or glasses, and it'd be like, these other clans may not be as hospitable as I am, but as a member of the Scorpion, no, I'm always welcome to entertain a fun time.
Can't do anything without promoting yourself.
So that sounds like a water approach, ingratiating yourself.
Okay,
Very
yeah.
fluid.
Okay.
It's about trying to be on the good side of the person
Sure.
that you're working with.
Placate, yeah.
And for the skill, let's see here. I don't have a listing of the skill. I really need to get the sheet
I'm just
back.
going to do courtesy.
Courtesy sounds good.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, we'll go with that.
So it's either courtesy, command, games, or performance for social.
No, that would be courtesy in
Courtesy,
this
yeah,
case.
that's what it sounds like to me.
Because it's not really, you're not commanding them. You're saying, hey, let's,
Yeah. Right.
this is a social place. Let's just drink. That's what this place is for.
Let's not beat people up right now.
Let's not beat people up right now. Not bad. So
I've got two approaches.
How many are you keeping?
that's what I'm
Which
trying
of
to
your
figure out because I
approaches
can
is
keep
going to get
3.
us kicked out of the competition?
You can keep 3.
So I'm trying to figure out if I want the opportunity.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm going to take. I forget. Has there been a TN attached to this,
Not yet. So,
or is this a hidden TN?
this is, no, I'll always tell you
Yeah.
ahead of time before you decide what to keep, what TN is. Just remind me. This is a TN3
What?
because you are addressing a group of them who are already in
A rambunctious and
an
wild,
aggressive sort of mindset, and so you're trying to turn that tide as
Right.
opposed to talking to an average person
That's fair.
who's maybe a
Alright.
little heated.
Then I will set aside the opportunity and go straight for success, as I am burnt out by the fact that I am now down a few credits more than I wanted to be today, and having to deal with things besides the competition on top of dealing with a tall brat of a mantis and my
I really don't
and-
like Hitoshi, do you?
I don't like anyone.
Well, you love yourself.
Yeah, and my friends are okay too, I suppose. So
Big T-shirt says "I love."
me. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the
Okay, 3 successes and 2 strife.
yes.
So you
I,
approach gregariously. You begin passing out these urns and cups, saying, "Come on, join us, friends. This is a sake house. Let's drink and be merry." You know. And you see that some of the Ronin, they immediately, you see like a handful of them, we're about 4 or 5 of
Right.
them, sort of hear, or everyone's listening to your speech here, and then 4 or 5 of them actively sort of leave the students they were harassing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, all right,
Drink,
yeah,
let's
yeah,
drink,
yeah."
man.
Nice.
Sweet.
You see a Weasley-looking guy, a balding Weasley-looking guy in front, grab the jug and like start to drink
Right.
directly from the jug. And then you see that wolfish-looking,
Yeah.
dark-eyed fellow come over there and slap the jug directly out of his hands. It shatters to the ground, spilling the sake everywhere, and it pierces what was a fairly tense moment and making it even more tense. You see him grab the balding guy by the scruff of his clothes and slap him directly across the face. And he says just loud enough for him to hear, for the two of them and you in proximity to hear, we have a job to do. Don't fuck around. He shoves him back. We appreciate your gesture, member of the Scorpion clan, but our business isn't with you today.
Understood.
So enjoy yourself.
You as well.
You see him actually make his way over towards where Hitoshi, Koretane, and Taiko
Yes, I followed.
are standing.
Fuck it. I'm putting myself in front of Hitoshi.
Yep. Both of my approaches just went out the window.
So, he...
Calm yourself.
Calm yourself, man. I will fight.
Sorry.
So he approaches in a surly fashion, the three of you, and so you're saying you kind of put yourself in between.
I sure do.
Okay. He takes a long look at you. I'm gonna need you to move.
I don't really want to.
Oh, I'm sorry. You must not have understood me. Hey, friends. This gaijin here, we let her speak slowly and clearly so she can understand. She's not from around here. You're gonna have to move. How do you respond?
Cold, icy stare.
Now, he is actively insulting you. If you are going to endure this, you suffer one strife. So you're going to suffer one strife already because he's insulting. If you choose not to respond, you must also forfeit one glory.
That's fine, because if I respond to it, then I'm losing honor, because I'm not keeping my composure, right?
Depends on how you
Because
reply.
it depends on how
you reply to
necessary.
it. It depends on how you reply to it. To ignore an insult without responding at all,
I see.
you'd lose one glory.
I'm not a very good samurai.
It's a weird set of rules.
I will look at him and say,
It's impossible standards, really.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's what Bushido is. Like,
Right.
you can't really commit to all elements of Bushido at once, right? You naturally have to dial up and down depending on
Circumstance.
context and circumstance.
I am sorry that you were not able to become a samurai. I will not be making that same failing.
Oh, damn!
I'm like,
Oh, damn!
it's like just hiding behind my fan.
What?
Just reaction gif of the...
Oh, yeah.
I know exactly what hands at side of face, just...
Whenever
Because
this
if
is done,
he hits me,
there-
then I get to hit him back, right?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
At
There
that
you
point, it's
go.
self-defense.
At that point, it's
Fine,
self-defense. Yeah.
yeah.
You just can't start it.
There is something I'd like to do in the meantime.
And there's
but feel
staff
free to-
here, like there are adults here who can see this and vouch for.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to do something while this
Well,
is going on.
understanding that this has now gone from
And you notice...
yeah.
You notice after that altercation between you and the wolfish man and the balding fellow, right? As you were trying to offer this sake, you notice that sure enough, all of these Ronin have been not only haven't been harassing you or insulting you,
Right.
they also haven't been harassing or insulting any other Scorpion clan member. Seems like they're leaving them alone.
That means they got paid by the Scorpion Clan.
Or they are Scorpion Clan.
No, it just means I did such a good job.
No, it doesn't.
No.
No, it just means
Hard nope.
no. I'm gonna retain that in my head.
Oh,
You're
wow.
gonna pretend
No,
that.
that's
Okay,
fine.
fine.
no, not
fine.
pretend. Probably what? Maybe somewhat doubt it. Who knows? It's a toss-up. Probably half and half.
You're full enough of yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I'm full enough of myself to want to believe it, but also
Yeah.
maybe a little too attentive to detail to be like, come on, guys. But I will. What
Okay.
we'd like to do in the meantime, though, like prepare contingency plan B, and like start talking to like. No, not talking. Actively commanding the other clanmates as I like kind of use this moment that they're not focusing on me to be like,
We got to mount a defense.
right, like if things come to it, honor your clan.
Okay.
Defend the other participants.
Yeah.
I would say that's a TN2 command.
Okay.
You're inciting?
I think inciting is the.
Well, it sounded like you were appealing to clan values.
Oh, no,
and
yeah,
clan,
that's true, yeah.
You know, sort of relative.
Where would that
Thanks.
fall in terms of approach?
Reason?
Reason?
Maybe? Charm?
I wouldn't know where to begin with that.
I mean, it's entirely up to you.
It's
But
a
from what you were describing, it sounds like, hey, we're Scorpion Clan. We need to take care of this.
right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's either between like a fire or an earth approach.
I would say in this
Or-
case, probably fire, right?
Okay. Then
Because you're trying to kind of rally them together, non-verbally, but you're saying like,
yes.
come on, Scorpion, we got to do this.
Right.
Like, it's our job to like
Right.
protect the Empire from within and without, and this is bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's command.
How are you doing?
oh,
One exploding.
Ooh, the sweet die. I am going to test the last of my patience.
You're not going to roll and then keep the additional?
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
We'll see.
right?
Okay.
A lot more opportunity or pushing your limits?
Well, let's do this. We'll keep the TN2. We'll succeed with the opportunity.
One
and,
strife.
With one strife, as I am now absolutely. I'm at wit's end of being like people who don't appreciate the finer points
How much
of conversation.
You said I took a strike because he's insulted me?
He insulted you, so
As
you took one
as
strife.
I'm
Okay.
actively like fidgeting, like attempting to not touch my fan.
Sure. Yeah.
So here's the deal with
I dare say.
I say
I do declare.
not do the
Fuck is
this-
Foghorn Leghorn doing?
Yeah. So I would assume I'm appealing initially to the Scorpion Clan. With the opportunity, I'd like to branch
that?
out to other maybe like-minded clans, maybe a lion or a crab clan member who's more up to be like, I understand, fight first.
So you're looking around. You're trying to give people sort of a nonverbal cue, saying like, "You need to be ready."
Yeah.
Like, look at me. You know I mean business.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah. So you got 2 successes. So you're able to do so.
Right.
So you look around. You give people sort of knowing glances and nods. You're kind of gesturing in
Right.
very subtly in the directions of the Ronin, and you can see that the Scorpion Clan, though they are stereotypically like pretty like stone-faced, you can see that there's a flash of recognition in their eyes, and you can see the occasional lion clan member, as a crab clan member here and there. And you can see the sort of there's a handful of them sort of as you're looking across and spanning the student body. You can see some of them are like actively, their muscles are tensing. They're like, it's clear that they're ready to do
Sure.
something should the need arise.
Right.
Yeah.
What was their reaction to my insult back to the man?
So, you noticed, Koretane, while the wolfish man and Taiko were having this exchange, Hitoshi was kind of like moving away from you and her and sort of like rotating out to the left slightly, trying to trying to add distance between a lot of you. You see the wolfish man. You see him. He tightens his chin, does a hard swallow, and then gets right directly in your face. He leans down to do so,
I haven't hit my strike cap yet, so I don't fucking budge.
I think that would be a fun moment to unmask.
he leans down and he says, "It's getting late. You might want to get back to the rice field." Take 1 strike.
Jeez. I was going to try to diffuse the situation, but I don't think it needs to be diffused.
Spoken like a phoenix.
Any response to that?
Yes, but I don't know how to best say so. I will very slowly roll my eyes at him and go, is that really all you've got? From a little man like you?
So you see him. He actually.
I hope you can hear this.
You see his hands move to begin to draw his sword.
Go ahead, you start.
His
and I'll
actual
finish it.
sword. Before he touches hilt, you're looking directly at him. You see off to his right, a jug of sake sails through the air, smashes into his face, and sends him reeling off to the side. You see him sort of trip over and collapse next to one of the tables on your left, and the two of you notice that standing off to the side, Hitoshi has just thrown that jug.
My man.
And in a matter of seconds, the place erupts in this massive
Everybody was
brawl.
kung fu fighting.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
I go over, I grab Hiroshi, and I just bolt to the door.
No, you don't, because
Damn
we
it.
have to do initiative.
No, come on!
We've got
Okay.
to do
It was
the protect.
auto roll. I was facing down the patriarchy and everything.
We got to protect Mr. President now.
So, this is a skirmish, right, as opposed to a duel or mass combat, right? So, what you need to do is a tactics check, TN1. And you may use whatever ring you like for this check, but it's going to determine what stance you start the battle in.
Ooh, okay, that's neat. Let me
makes
check
sense?
stances real quick.
Now, the stances give you different mechanical benefits. It should be on the back of, it should be in the conflict mode of your first sheet. So you'll see the stances, they do different things for you. For instance, if you started in air stance, the TN of checks targeting you would increase by 1. If you started in water stance, during your turn you could perform 1 additional action that doesn't require a check. Etc., right?
where's this is
It should be on the conflict side.
Cool. I'm gonna do water.
Your first page. Should be on the conflict side, which is the back of that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Flip top left.
Dude, you could take void stance.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
thinking about it,
Okay.
but I was also looking at fire because I know I tend to roll a whole lot of those. And
so.
now's a good
I
time to
have-
unmask.
I
I
So
have-
this is a
Two in
tactics check,
tactics,
and
so-
this based on your
only have
stance.
one, but it should be good
So
either way.
yeah, you'll be making a tactics check, and the ring you use determines the stance you start the battle in. That makes sense?
Right.
So you can choose whichever ring you like, but that'll be the stance that you start. Now keep in mind the way that stances work is that at the beginning of your turn, specifically in the round, you can change your stance.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Neat.
Okay.
So this determines what stance you're in, and then if somebody acts before you or other people act before you, that's the stance you're in. Then when your turn starts, you can shift stance or keep the one that you're in, and then that lasts until the beginning of your next turn, in which case you can change stance again. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So you can change it every time your turn starts. But this is an initial stance establishment to make sure I know who's doing what.
Cool. Alright. I'm gonna go water.
There we go. There's stance.
For fuck's sake, I have 2 white die and I
Yeah,
rolled
I
that.
didn't even think about tactics. I should have probably. Dang.
Wait, I have quick reflexes. Does that apply here? Or not?
To tactics, this is for learning about your environment, engaging your foes, so no, I would say that this counts here.
Okay, well, I rolled 2 opportunities and a strife.
Interesting.
That's it.
On all those dice?
2
Yes.
opportunities and a
Wow.
strife. Okay.
So what I'll probably do is use one of those opportunities to cancel out the strife.
Sure. Okay.
And just have the 1 opportunity. I can't believe I rolled that with 4 dice and 2 white ones.
So one
Oh, shit.
opportunity. So what's your focus?
Getting out of here with Hiroshi and my
No,
friends.
what's the literal number that is your focus?
literal
on it?
focus on water?
No, what's the focus number?
4.
4. Cool.
Sorry.
So that's your initiative value.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? To order.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
Okay. So who's going next? I just need you to all do the checks at some point.
I think I'm going to start
What stance are you in?
Water.
Water? Okay. That's really for your benefit. Just remember what water does for you.
I'm going to start in fire.
All right.
Hold on. Exploding success.
Always a good thing.
Nothing. Okay.
Oh.
3 successes and 1 strife, which will push me over the edge.
Okay, so are you choosing to unmask here?
Yeah, this seems like a fair place to unmask.
Okay.
A fight broke out.
And so you're using fire, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So you're barreling into this fight. Okay. So it was a TN1 and you got 3 successes?
Yep.
So what's your focus number?
4.
Plus 2, you're at 6.
Ooh, okay.
That's
I see how
bonus
that works.
successes, you
Yeah.
see?
Cool.
You said it's the TN what?
1.
TN1.
Okay, I see.
And so you're doing fire. Cool. Rioto?
We're gonna do an air stance.
Okay.
I got I'm keeping a success and an opportunity. Is opportunity used the same way as it is, and can I use it to like get rid of lower strain?
You can reduce a strife, or I can tell you something about your environment that might be helpful to you based on the ring you chose.
No, I think I need
Reduce
to
strife?
take this moment to
Okay.
like understand what's about to happen and like
Zen out a bit.
yeah.
So that's 1 success. What's your focus?
5.
5. Cool.
Nice.
And you did, I'm sorry, air?
Uh-huh.
That's right. And then we've got our Ronin. Okay, so Koretane, you get to go first because you're at 6. So here's how this works. You choose a stance, so you can keep in the stance that you're at right now, or you can change it.
Seems to be fitting for me, so I'll stick with it.
Okay, you can perform 1 action, and you can move. And action and the movement can be swapped in order. Like it can be, you can move then act, or act and then move.
Okay.
So it looks like as this brawl has started, the same people that you were sort of non-verbally connecting to,
Right.
they have taken the opportunity to sort of like to rise up as one and begin to fight with the other Ronin. And so the way that this sort of brawl is shaken out, each of you, Taiko, Koretane, and Rioto, you each have 1 Ronin in front of you who's like dedicated to harassing you.
Ooh, do I have the wolf man, please?
I mean, he's right in front of you, so he's
Well, I know
ready
he's
to
on the
go.
ground with a sake jug in his face.
Yeah.
So
So you're dealing each with 1 particular guy. And then it looks like that the rest of them, there's one that's trying to harass Hitoshi, and then the others are being engaged by the other the other students, right?
Okay.
Now, to keep in mind, you have here in the sake house, because you're samurai in training, you don't have your swords or anything like that yet. You've got
This fan.
You
But,
have
like,
yeah.
I don't know if I want to like
Use that right now.
You have some basic equipment on you. You have practice swords, of course. Your bokken, right?
Shit out of somebody
Your
with it.
bokken, I should
Yep.
say, that you have at hand that you could draw and then use, or you can simply like do the old school sort of martial arts style thing. So, what do you want to do? So there's a Ronin right in front of you, ready to go.
We're gonna draw the bokken and
Okay.
just overwhelm him with swings.
Okay, so
Just
you
keep
are
laying
going
into
to strike.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is an attack action. You've got a readied weapon. Sure, it did. So it's martial arts check. In this case, melee, right? So you're using your bokken. TN2.
Nice.
They started it, so we won't get in trouble, right?
Yes.
Well, technically, Hitoshi's start.
Still not great. For him.
We won't get in trouble. That's what you... Technically.
Look, man, he was so close to touching his sword. If he just given me 2 seconds, I could have kicked this guy's ass clean.
Okay, 2
Fair and
success.
square.
Actually, 3 success because I'm in fire. And an opportunity. Can I use that opportunity to, like, trip him up or something?
Hold on just a second.
Mm-hmm. It was TN2, I got the 2, and with fire stance, my 1 Strife.
So you got the
becomes
2.
another bonus.
Okay.
1. Yep. An extra success from Strife, and then I've got a.
So how many opportunities do you have?
1, just 1.
Okay, and how many successes do you have total?
3 total successes, or 2 successes, 1 bonus success.
All right, that's right. Three successes. So, okay. So you're going to deal damage equal to the weapon's damage rating, the base damage, plus bonus successes.
Okay.
So since it was TN2 and you got 1 bonus success, that's plus 1. So your Boken, let me see here. Since you guys have put your characters together, the Boken are not necessarily listed on there right now. So let me
Weapons
just
area.
look that up real quick. The base damage for a Boken is 3.
Got it.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you're dealing 4 damage to this guy.
Yep. Just solid couple of thwacks against him.
Okay. And then how many opportunities do you have? You have 1 opportunity?
Yes, 1 opportunity.
How do you want to use it?
Can I use it to like trip him up, keep him focused, maybe knock him into the person who Hitoshi's fighting with?
You can keep him sort of. You can keep him sort of locked down to you. You know, like so you know that he won't stray. You strike him in a vulnerable and painful area that he is now dedicated to getting you back for it. So he's focusing on you. Yeah, he's not going to drift over to Toshi or any of your other your comrades. Yeah,
Sounds good.
sounds good. So you thwack him with your Boken. Any particular place?
Like elbow and just that funny bone feeling where you're like, oh, it's not great.
So you strike this. This tubby bearded Ronin in the elbow, right at that juncture where the funny bone is, and you hear him like almost like a caught fox yelp and grab his elbow, and you can see the shame and embarrassment wash over his face, and he draws his sword out and is ready to like whack you with it.
Let's go.
Okay,
Vibroblade versus a lightsaber. All right, let's do this.
Rioto.
All right.
First of all, what stance? You
Sure.
stay
An air stance.
air stance. Okay.
I will keep it.
Okay.
As take a defensive posture.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I looking at? What's his opponent? I'm looking at like.
This guy's a average build. It looks like he's a little more broader shouldered than he looks like he skipped leg day, maybe a little bit.
Right, of course.
This fellow hasn't drawn his weapon yet. It seems like he's just ready to like just box with you essentially.
Sure. Okay.
You know what I want more than everything? I want you to do like some fancy dance with your fan and just go until he just passes out. I want this image of it in my head so bad.
What was the curse on that fan?
Yeah. It's like the rusty spoon in D&D where it always just ends up in your hand. And it's just like, oh
no.
I'm gonna play dirty.
So you're gonna use the fan because it's cursed. That's about as dirty as you can get.
Right, but I don't want to kill the guy. I just want
You just want to make sure he doesn't have children.
Right. Can I still use a martial arts unarmed if I go for an attack where I use like one of the nearby bottles that I have procured that nobody's drinking out of, and like
Sort of an improvised weapon. In
well,
that
I'm gonna like basically like knock it up or kick it up at him while like going for his like some lower blow, right, like at his knee.
Oh, so that'd just be like a regular melee attack, but you'd be feinting, so using an air attack.
Okay, yeah, I suppose, yeah. Do those approaches work in this, right? Is
I'd
it all the same?
imagine. That's why they're there, right?
Let me double check on the conflict section, because obviously this is in this adventure book. It's kind of pared down.
Oh, absolutely,
You know
yeah.
what
Give you the
So,
basics.
yeah. So I guess I get the approach is a feint.
An air approach.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would imagine that's how you could like roll that in there. Because otherwise, it's like, how do you do a feint without messing with people in some way, shape, or form?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can do one of those things. You can either strike with your fists, right? You can do an unarmed strike, or you can use a piece of the environment against them, right? Can't do both because that would technically be 2 actions. Now, what something you could do is what's described as a unique action. You make a check using a skill for a mechanical or narrative effect.
Okay. So on my turn, I can switch stances, right?
Yes.
If I switch to water, can I do that? Because water allows me to take
The extra
a second action that does not require a check or share a type with your first action.
No, because both the strike and this unique action both require checks.
Oh,
See what
okay.
I'm saying?
I gotcha. All right, then I'm going to.
For instance, preparing an item doesn't require a check. That's a support thing, so you could do that and
Understand
something else.
All right, then I will. All right, I'm just gonna try to deck him in a very cheap trick-esque way. So, so bringing attention more to my beautiful face, and also like,
Of course.
with my hands, but also going for like more of a kick to like the knee. That's not anatomically favorable. So,
Sure, yeah, knees aren't supposed to go that way.
Right.
Nope.
Right.
Sure.
So that's to sum it up. That's what's going on. So
Okay, so that's it's going to be a martial arts unarmed, right?
Move to the knee.
And it's TN2, just like normal. It's your average strike, so that's
cool. And do you take on the role of your stance or the role of the approach?
I would imagine
Or the-
approach.
I just didn't know if approaches were the
Let me double check that.
sure.
Good question.
A character can only perform checks with the matching ring while in a stance.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so your approach, okay, that's interesting. Your approach has to match your
Your
stance.
stance.
So I
Yeah.
can't do something. In theory, if we were keeping in role,
You'd have to
playing.
change your stance in order to do the check that is related to the ring that you're
Yeah,
shifting into.
or
That's
take an
neat.
approach.
Yeah.
That's nifty. Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, cool. I'm staying in character then. So
So you're trying to be clever with it. You're doing an air thing. So you get to keep 3 of those, right?
yeah, so that's pretty cool. You said TN1.
TN2.
Okay, so we're gonna big money.
No, Amy. Woo!
Of course it is. Oh,
What's a little strife?
Come on.
all right. So
Between friends.
Strife among friends.
I am.
We all may be unmasking here.
It's okay. This opportunity will keep me at.
I hope not, because
We'll
my
keep you cool.
masking's probably going to be
So since you unmasked,
bashing this guy.
your
seriously.
strife has been cleared, right?
Okay,
All
so
right.
that it resets now. Yeah.
No, when you unmask.
okay.
So I just
At the end of battle, there will probably be an unmasking, effectively.
no. It happens right,
Right
now.
now? Okay.
What I'm saying is when you took your turn, you suffered the strife, and you chose to unmask. That happened then. So what you were
Okay.
doing is you were attacking with like unusual viciousness, right? You know, because your emotion is overflowing.
Badger-like ferocity.
Right. So what that means is that your strife has gone away, all right? So it's zeroed out.
Ah, feels better.
But you do, and because of that, you do lose 1 honor.
That's fair.
Technically, this is a. You're fighting against Ronin who don't have much in terms of the way of like they're not acting with honor, obviously. But as a samurai in training, you're expected to
Still keep
to
that standing.
keep with the elements of Bushido, and you've sort of ignored compassion in a way that is obviously deficient.
Little
Yeah.
outside those bounds.
Hey, did I take any glory or honor pins when I insulted that guy back?
When you insulted him back?
Yeah. Because I know originally if I was quiet, if I didn't say anything, then I would have taken a hit on honor or glory. But since I answered him, I just want to make sure I didn't... I just insulted him back, probably.
No, you were
better.
just...
Okay.
You were essentially just inflicting strife upon him. It's just
Okay.
that...
I just wanted to check and make sure I kept everything up to date.
Yeah.
Cool.
I will, 2 successes. Opportunity. I'll use this to reduce strife by 1. So.
Okay. So how many successes?
2.
Okay, so you're dealing your base damage.
Okay.
If that's unarmed,
Yeah.
then you're doing... Let me see here.
Something like what?
I think it's 1. I think it's 1 damage.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any defaults.
What do I need to look up?
Well, again, this is meant for like those pre-gen
Yeah.
characters, and that has that stuff already worked out.
I'm riding the threshold as I am gritting teeth, trying to keep composure, and especially incredibly envious as the rest of my friends have decided to also let loose. And I'm like,
I haven't lost composure yet.
Not yet.
Battles seem to be the quickest place to lose it.
Always gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't know if this man's still gonna have a face by the time I'm
Excellent.
done losing composure.
Let me double check.
I mean, he did call me.
I want to make sure that you're getting
Yeah.
maximum damage out of this, so that you're not cheating.
Hey man, maximum ass kicking.
Unarmed profiles. Here we go. So what did you do? Is it kick or a punch? Would you typify this?
a kick.
Kick is 2 damage.
Oh, cool. Hey, yeah.
So 2 damage because you got TN2. That was just a normal success. So you're dealing 2 damage to this guy. Okay, and then you used your opportunity to remove strife, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So you where are you kicking this fellow?
Right in the knee.
Right in the knee.
Like
Okay, yeah,
it's
you're
like
definitely
a-
trying to get it bent in a bad
Yeah.
way. You see that he tries to move to sort of anticipate that and ends up not moving far enough, and your heel connects directly with the side of his knee. You can see his leg collapses. And you see him cry out.
Yeah.
Now we have Taiko. Taiko, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was looking for the form because I have Heroic Charge and I have Iron Forest and Warrior's Resolve. I wanted to see if any of those would help me. What is the man who was hit with the jug currently doing?
He hasn't done anything yet because his turn hasn't come.
Okay, well, if he's not attacking me, then I don't feel it's right to attack him unprovoked.
Fair. Yeah, Bushido would say
So-
that's...
So instead, I will probably... I took the water stance.
Do you need me to look any of your things up?
Not until I actually start fighting because they're all... Well, look up Heroic Charge, actually, if you don't mind.
Heroic
Because-
charge.
I think the other two are they're both kata, so they're both like fighting techniques, I think.
Forms, yeah.
Yeah.
Forms. But the Heroic Charge, I'm not sure what that means.
Oh, that's right. We have those. Oh, I forgot about those.
Well, some of you have those.
Oh. Don't you have, like, Hadouken or something?
I've got techniques.
Sorry, I didn't see the... I didn't remember if you messaged it to us or what. I didn't find it.
No, I was just describing that to you.
Oh,
earlier.
okay.
You're supposed to write it down.
Sorry, I didn't write it down.
Heroic charge, you said?
Yeah.
Definitely probably could have
You got
attempted
Iron
a-
Forest. That involves a polearm.
Yep.
Um,
Warrior's Resolve. is
heroic
one.
charge. I don't see it on here. You sure it's a kata?
No, it's just a condition I have now. It's just
Oh,
a
I
condition.
see. See, what's your school?
Battle Maiden.
That's right. Let me
I
get
will
to
write
the-
it down this time. I'm sorry I didn't do that.
It's okay. Just let me get to the unicorn. Battle Maid.
One of my favorite phrases.
Heroic charge. When you succeed at an attack action check, add bonus successes equal to the number of range bands you've moved this round
I see.
to a maximum of your school rank, which right now is 1. So you could add 1 bonus success if you've moved at least 1 range band. So it would make sense. You're charging, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could potentially like charge over to Hitoshi's attacker.
Hitoshi.
Yeah.
Or probably just Hitoshi himself and
I mean, he's
DJ
currently
Phil?
like in combat, right?
Is he in combat?
Yeah, everybody's sort of engaged in this
Somebody.
brawl at the moment.
So you could help him out.
Probably will, just because we need to get out of here before
Before this gets
So what exactly do you want to do? You want to move over to the
Yes.
Ronin that's harassing Hitoshi,
Yes.
and do what?
I guess help him. I don't really want to fight anybody unless they try to fight me first, but
Okay. You can assist as an attack, intrigue, and support action. Describe how you're helping one other character at range 0 to 2 with their next action.
okay. And then I get a bonus action because I took the water stance.
Okay. A bonus action that doesn't require a check.
Yeah.
That is. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to come over there and you're going to... Are you distracting this person? Are you...
Probably. Yeah, let's
Okay.
just distract him.
Yeah, so you're trying to pull attention... trying to pull this Ronin's attention, split his attention between the two of you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, let's do that.
sounds good. And what was your extra thing that you want to do? So that was your movement. You moved over one band to get to them. Everything in this sake house, the way that the space and the ranges are, you just have to move. You have to make your move action, and then you're there next to the person.
Mm. What else could I do?
Well, the common skirmish actions: assist. You can do what's called a calming breath.
What's that do?
As a support action, you take a deep breath to calm yourself and recover stamina. If your strife is greater than half your composure, you remove one strife. If your fatigue is greater than half your endurance, which is like the damage you're soaking, right, you remove one fatigue.
I will do that.
Okay.
I will reduce my strife by one and take a. I will go over to like distract the guy
Okay.
from Hiroshi and take a deep breath.
So you take, and then you put yourself into the fray. So I'm thinking that you do this the opposite direction. You take a calming breath and then you move forward and start to split attention. Cool.
Trying to work towards Hiroshi getting the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Okay. It is now the Ronin's turn. So you see the tubby bearded Ronin in front of you. He's not happy with your funny bone whacking. He's upset about that. And
Understandable.
you see him take an aggressive approach, and he tries to strike you.
Better trained than I am.
Wow.
Apparently not.
And nothing happens.
Holy shit.
Wow.
3 blink.
So this guy, it's clear that his elbow is still bothering him. He tries to swing at you with a punch, and you can actively see sort of the bone and the muscle hurting him to extend that far, and you see it kind of falter at the end. It ends up sort of like just drifting past your face.
Woof.
You didn't even move.
Yeah, just like the stand and smirk and just like.
But he
oh,
takes
no.
like a point in strife and pride.
Well, since these are goons essentially,
Right,
I'm not,
doesn't
I'm not
matter, yeah.
tracking strife.
They
That's
have
true.
no pride.
Mooks.
Okay, so Koretane, and then so the one in front of you, Rioto, takes the opportunity to kind of try to right himself to get back up from the collapse of his knee, and tries to strike you. He too enters an aggressive stance and tries to just jab at you.
Cool. Because it's air, I don't know.
Your TN goes up by 1.
The TN goes up by 1, so he needs to get a TN 3 because strikes are always TN 2 martial arts. Something or other.
I see.
Okay, so he needs to get 3 successes. He's only got 2 here, but he does have an opportunity. It's 2 strife. Okay.
You're too slow.
No.
So he is going to take that opportunity. Let's see what we can do here.
No good things.
No good.
Okay, so
Call me a bad person.
he basically tries for a straight jab to your face, and the speed at which he moves and sort of the suddenness of his attack, now that he's righted himself, he doesn't connect, but it's enough to spook you a little bit. Take 1 strife, as he's aiming for your moneymaker.
I'm sorry, what?
He's aiming for your moneymaker, right in the face.
Your face. Are you about to lose your shit?
I've lost my shit.
So he fails to connect because it was TN3 since you're in the air stance, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he does have an opportunity to kind of
Have you gone off the
agitate.
deep end?
I have not. I
Okay.
actually have 2 more strife to go before I hit my deep end. Which is funny because I failed like the composure test. I need those judges to come in and see me now.
Well, that's conduct.
That's true.
It's
No,
different from
yeah.
composure. So it looks like you're over your
Yes.
composure.
So
So the way that this works is that you're now just to be clear on what happens when this. So if you're over your composure,
I get like -1 to
you're compromised.
yeah.
And what compromised means, if I can get to page 30, what compromised means is that your vigilance attribute, which is for like determining your initiative when you're not expecting things, right, is 1. Also, you can't keep dice with strife on. Ooh.
Wow.
That's gonna be rough.
So you could either unmask or become compromised.
So, like, yeah, you can stay compromised and just not
Yeah.
keep strife dice anymore, or you can unmask, removing all of your strife and letting this emotional vulnerability thing happen.
I want to know, how did he attack you? What did he come at you with? His sword?
He hasn't attacked
He
yet.
he hasn't. That's why I'm not
The,
attacking him.
the wolfish guy, the head guy, is still on the ground. He hasn't gotten up yet.
Yeah.
Did
He was about to draw his sword on me.
He did, his opponent.
The
did.
tubby guy did draw his sword, yeah. Hasn't swung with it yet. Essentially tried to bash.
Okay, so I get to. I'm going to lose an honor from this, but also I get to put myself in some type of unfitting situation. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, basically, here's some examples of unmasking. Right?
Okay.
Bend principles. You do something that conflicts with your values, oaths, or views of right and wrong. Expose an opening. You reveal a vital flaw in your argument, defenses, or positions. You can bear the indignities no longer and demand satisfaction by way of steel, in which case you challenge that person to a duel. Right? You say something out of line or commit a deep breach of etiquette that shocks lookers, so you have to forfeit glory equal to your glory rank, or something to the fact you can just leave, retreat, and maybe suffer honor and glory based on that. Or you can just go into a rage and forfeit honor equal to your honor rank, glory rank, or. So those are examples.
So
Right?
I have an idea, and you can tell me if it's appropriate. So trying to keep a lid on this whole situation and attempting to just this evening not playing out the way any of us have wanted it to, and attempting to swiftly end it by doing something dirty. He has decided to stay vigilant and attack me. Misses, and the straw that breaks the camel's back fails to connect, bumps a table, and like a drink spills on me.
Sure. All right.
And I
This
was look down.
favorite kimono.
I look at him, and not angry, but I reach in and I grab my fan,
Okay.
and that's what we're going to commit to for the rest of this
Okay.
fight.
All right.
So
So I would
We've-
say that's
we've gone from a gentleman's game to I am going to.
kind of dirty. So I say that's one honor lost.
Sure.
Right. Okay, but yeah, you draw your fan, and it's the guy, as you can see, as he fails to connect, clearly knows he's fucked up. There's a look upon his face that is. It's like
And now I'm
it's
smiling.
like flinch. It's like flinching, ready for somebody to toss a ball at your face.
As the stress meter has diminished, so has in an inverse
You've become
relationship.
pleased, yes.
Yeah, my face becomes visibly pleased.
Okay, the one who is whose attention is split between you and Tatoshi decides to attack you because you're sort of the new threat. He is going to try to strike you. He's just barehanded,
Okay.
and he has 2 successes and 1 strife. So what stance are you in?
I am in water stance.
So you're not in air. Okay, so he succeeds,
Okay.
and he's going to deal 1 damage to you. So what that is you're taking that in fatigue.
Okay.
And just like with composure and strife, right? If your fatigue exceeds your
Endurance.
endurance, you're incapacitated. You're out of the fight. Right.
Okay, that's fine. I haven't taken any endurance yet, so
You can also, if you suffer 4 critical injuries in total,
Go down.
you're also incapacitated. Does that make sense?
Okay.
but he did hit me, so now
Yes.
I get to hit him back.
So he does a pretty... He essentially, like, punches you in the solar plexus area, right?
Oh, that's no fun.
It's fine.
Do you like a wind?
And then, let's see.
Like a balloon.
So the tubby guy swung at you.
Mm-hmm.
We've got our kneecapped guy. Tried to take a swing at you and failed. Then we had our fellow punch you in the solar plexus.
And then we've got the guy on the
And
ground.
then you can see the wolfish guy. He actually gets up. You can see as he's looking around and seeing the brawl that has sort of ensued, he thinks better of it. Actually stows his sword, right? Because it was out a little bit of the sheath. I think the sheath would be the right word for it here. So he stows it back in, and you can see him cracking his knuckles as he moves towards you and Toshi to join his friend.
That's fine.
So that's his turn.
What's on the table next?
So we're back up to the top. Koretane. What stance?
Gonna
Changing or
keep with
staying?
fire.
Okay.
And the hits keep coming, hopefully.
Okay, so using the fire ring and trying to
Keep
stretch.
coming, keep on coming.
Bocan time. Oh, nice, yeah. 2 successes, which will be bumped up to 3 because of fire stance.
Okay.
And another opportunity.
All right, so that's Boken damage plus 1 because it's a bonus success, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how much damage is that?
4 damage.
4 damage. Okay. All right. So what do you want your opportunity to be? Remember, if you get 2 opportunities on a strike, you can spend those to deal a critical strike.
Yeah.
Can I just, knock him off balance?
Yes,
Hit him and kind of
absolutely.
send him teetering? Yeah. Nice
So
and simple.
where do you strike with your Boken?
First it was elbow, now it's knee.
Okay, so you swing with your Boken, strike directly in the kneecap. This fellow, immediately, he was already a little off balance to begin with. You strike him in the knee, you see him tumble forward. He smacks his head against one of the sake house tables, and he's out like a light.
He's down. I'll use my move to then get behind the wolfish guy. Or
Okay.
next to him.
Sounds good. All right. Rioto,
Yes.
it's your turn.
Let's roll first. Fire stance.
Hey.
Fire stance, okay?
Coming right at him, and depending how we
Let's
roll,
go.
that's will determine how this looks. So, but it is a flurry of blows. So,
Okay, fire, martial arts, unarmed, TN2.
well, it's armed because now I'm using the.
Oh, that's right, using the thing. That's right.
This poor guy. You might curse him.
Oh, that's not cool.
All opportunities. Interesting.
Is this now where I can use void?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I know we're
believe
rolling through
so.
like a bunch of rules.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So void.
How do you use void point?
When assembling the dice pool for a check, a character may spend 1 void point to roll 1 additional ring die, and subsequently keep 1 additional die when resolving the check.
Oh, okay.
Now, ideally, you do that before you
Okay.
roll.
No,
But because we don't know that, you can go ahead and spend your void point to add a ring die. So 1 of the black.
I see.
Ooh.
But you have to spend that void point, so keep track of that.
Sure. And this is a TN 1 or 2 for
TN2.
what? For I see.
It's all when you're attacking a single foe, like standard attack, it's always a TN2.
Gotcha. All right.
Unless there's some complicating factor which I've put in place.
For sure.
I tell you about.
Cool. A success, multiple advantage.
How many of those can you keep?
3.
3.
Or sorry, 2. I apologize. It is fire.
It's fire, yes.
Well, that's part. It's no stress. What can I do with advantage despite failure?
Okay, so with your 2 advantages, let's see here.
Man, that's unfortunate.
With your 2 advantages, let's see, you're in fire stance, right?
Yes.
So, you can choose 1 character in the scene per opportunity that you spend, and they suffer 1 strife. I can tell you that these goons are really, it's not really important right now that they suffer strife.
Right.
Um,
Does Strife do anything against them as mooks? Is it like, I don't know, turn... Not to gain
no,
system,
for mechanically speaking.
Okay, gotcha.
Here's an opportunity that you can do. You do so. You complete the task with more haste and vigor than others anticipate. In a conflict at the beginning of the next round, increase your initiative by 1 per opportunity spent that way.
Mm.
Oh, per opportunity spent. Okay, seeing as I'm not going to succeed,
You can also obviously use opportunity normally to reduce strife.
Right. Seeing I'm at 0 and I'm not going to succeed anyway, not focusing so much on form, I am attempting to scare the ever-living shit out of this guy by doing more, just covering more airspace, coming at him very, with a lot of fury.
Too fast, too furious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of furious, a lot of fast.
Okay.
So increase my
Initiative?
yes by
So you're
2.
spending both of those. Okay.
Yes.
So your initiative in the next round is now going to be at 7.
Nice.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
So, so you, with a flurry
Yeah.
of fan, you unleash the fan and you begin sort of swiping and everything, and he is suddenly taken aback. He's having to like bump over chairs and stuff like that to back up very quickly. It's clear that this mistake that he made of causing you to spill sake on yourself has been bad for him, and he is like rapidly, like almost like comically backing up.
Right.
I don't mean to be stereotypical here, but you're like a middle-aged gay man.
Yeah.
Think about it for a second.
Yeah.
You've got a fan. You're really pissed off if someone spills drinks on your clothes, and you keep charming older men.
That's true.
Is that? Wow. There you have it.
Coming at us with a reason.
Yeah. Hot take.
Taiko,
Yes, I'm
what do
sorry.
you want to do?
I'm ruining your
Beautiful.
immersion.
That's fine.
I'm so sorry. I love you.
Tell me what you want.
Okay, I'm gonna switch to Earth Stance.
Okay.
Do you have mine? I grab some water.
Go for it, yeah. So they can't spend opportunities to inflict critical strikes or conditions on me,
Okay.
since I'm kind of surrounded by 2 of them. Is there anything immediately on the table that's next to me that I can use as weapon, so I don't have to just to draw my
Boken.
boken?
Yeah.
Like a jug, a glass. What?
There are a handful of jugs and cups. There's what looks like a small sort of clay object to hold a candle, essentially. So yeah, there's stuff to use as like a bludgeoning object. Sure.
Any broken chair legs or anything?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Do you want to make one?
That would be a whole action. in
That would be
itself.
my whole action. So
But man, would that be cool?
I will. Mostly, I just want to have a melee weapon, but I don't want to have to draw my boken. I don't want to remove any honor from myself. So
Well, I mean, the battle's already happened.
Yeah.
So
Defending
it's-
yourself would be. You can use that support thing to draw your boken.
okay. Well, then I will. Yeah.
Are you in water stance?
I
You're
was
in
going to
earth
switch
stance.
to Earth.
Okay, so if you're in Earth stance, you have 1 action and 1 movement. Now, the action would be to draw your boken.
Okay.
Make sense?
All right. Could I?
Prepped and ready.
Would it still be an action to grab something off the table and hit somebody with it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then I might as well just punch a guy then, I guess.
Go for the gut.
Right.
And, yeah, mechanically speaking, you're getting more out of going ahead and just striking.
Yeah. Okay. Then I will. Am I aware that the wolf guy is behind me or not?
No, he's not behind you. It's just that he's come up.
coming.
So the 4 of you, Hitoshi, you, the initial guy, and the wolf guy, are kind of in this clump, sort of trading blows and harassing each other.
Okay. Then I will go to
Join
punch
the
the
fray.
person in front of me.
So punch a guy in front of you.
Yep.
Cool.
It's Earth.
So TN2, martial arts.
Yep.
Unarmed.
I was just wondering if quick reflexes would help me at all with it or not.
I think that would apply here, yeah, because it's physical activity. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Makes sense.
maybe and anticipating a movement and then adjusting your punch in kind or kick.
Nope. 1 success. And just basically 1 success, because I got 2 opportunities and 2 strife, but I don't want to take any more strife.
Okay.
So, just 1 success.
So a whiff and a miss.
Yeah.
Now it's time for the Ronin. Okay, so the one in front of you, Rioto, is going to he backs up, kind of stumbles slightly over over an overturned stool, and he rights himself again, and then tries to find an opening in your fan slashes to sock you. There's 2 opportunities. So he does not succeed, but he is able to sort of turn the tide on you, and he uses those 2 advantages to, if I'm remembering correctly, to give you 2 strife.
Okay.
So he is causing you to suffer
Dang, that's
2 strife.
That is. I feel like strife, like doing that, is way more effective than how strain works in Energy Empire, which is cool. I like that because it's like I'll take a point of strain. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
And this is like strife. Are you? I mean, there's no reason for that. I'll just take the hit.
I don't have to unmask.
I don't have the mask. I only have 1 mask.
Don't lose any more honor. Don't worry.
You see the other fellow in front of you, and Toshi goes to swing at you.
Okay.
It's 1 success and 2 opportunities. He uses the opportunity to essentially threaten you. You'll take 1 strife, and Toshi.
Okay.
And then the wolfish-looking man, he actually moves up slightly to Hitoshi and attempts to strike him.
Okay. Man, has Satoshi taken turns? We just haven't seen him.
He's
just doing
hand wavy
his thing.
NPC.
Hand waving. Okay, cool.
He's totally fighting.
He's totally cool.
Shit, seems like Hitoshi needed to take an earth stance.
Okay, so you can keep
So I took the
2
strife.
of those.
Getting critically injured.
I mean, that's literally why I took earth stance. I was like, I know these guys are going to roll a ton of opportunities on me.
These are the well-trained ones, right?
I mean, or lucky, you know?
Yeah.
So he moves up and just like with his hand just backhands Satoshi, and you hear that slap of flesh on flesh, and he like stumbles backward and tries to catch himself on a nearby sake house table.
Great.
So we are back up to the top. So our 3 remaining Ronin went. So now it's Ryoto's turn because
Cool.
you're at 7 right now.
Does it revert to normal after this round? Or...
I think that's a permanent change. Let me
Oh, that's
double
pretty
check.
nifty.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't want
me
to shift
check.
things around too much.
At the beginning of the next round, increase your initiative by 1 per expend this way. So it doesn't specify that it goes
Oh,
back down.
that's pretty cool.
Fantastic.
Oh, sick. Okay. So
But
we're
of course, if other fire melee users can then do that in turn with their opportunities, so
right.
it's like an arms race in that regard.
Sure. So we're gonna go same stance. We're still going to keep up.
Still doing fire.
Yeah,
Okay.
and still keeping up the
Flurry of blows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
flurry of fan. Triple F. That's
There you go.
Fantasy Flight Kinds.
There we go. So,
That's strife.
I know. I think I want to take it because.
Well, now you did it. You did unmask, so your stripe went back down to 0.
Yeah.
That's
Plus
true.
one
You should
bonus success per.
You'd be alright.
I'm going to take this. You have to decide what you're keeping first, and then roll additional
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Like, your whole initial. Okay.
Yep.
Then. So
I'm going to keep those 2.
So I can get the additional bonuses.
You're
bonus
going to roll an
successes.
additional success.
Yes.
Hopefully. Okay.
Yeah.
3 strife, 2 successes, and 1 opportunity.
So 2 successes plus 3 strife, so that's 5 successes.
the strife doesn't count. Remember?
Well, it's fire stance.
Oh, that's
So
right.
if you succeed,
Yeah.
you get plus 1 bonus success per
Per strife.
strife.
Well, excellent. Okay. So what that means is that you've got 3 bonus successes, right?
Right. So I'm gonna try.
So
to
damage of the fan plus 3.
Yes. So I'm going to tone down a little bit of the strife I'm taking
With the opportunity.
but still with the benefit of plus 3.
Sure, yeah.
So that unfortunately I didn't write down the Tessin damage.
Well,
Because I didn't think I was.
That's okay, that's an easy look up.
Yeah, because I honestly actually wasn't expecting to use it.
Should have known better.
Samurai must always remember that they must use everything at their disposal.
Mistake number 1.
I know.
Tessin.
Total new.
Lose a point of honor.
The damage or a Tessin is 4.
Cool.
So 9 damage.
So 4,
Dangerous.
5,
Oh.
6, 7.
Yeah. So it's
4 plus bonus success.
yeah. So
Not
4 plus 4. So
4 plus 3.
oh, because of
Because
the
the TN's
TN's
2.
Oh,
Mhm.
so yeah. So 7.
7 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still,
Yeah.
did you want to kill that guy? Because
I-
you might have killed that guy.
That's I think the unmasking. That's my commitment to the unmasked.
So you're striking away with this fan. The sharp edges actually you can see cut into this Ronin's
Yeah.
skin. Like he
Oh,
takes
no.
some severe like slashes, and you see him groan in pain, and he's actually so taken aback, distracted, in pain that he just sort of collapses underneath the table and then just sort of hides under there. Like it's clear that he wasn't ready to
Right.
for blood to be properly drawn
Sure.
by
Is
by,
he,
by blade.
I was gonna wrap up
Is
some
he Is he?
He's indisposed.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. And so,
Such a delicate way of saying.
Out of the.
So
and I get a movement after that, right?
yeah, you can move. Yeah, 'cause
Wow.
you did your action.
What up, boys?
Join the party.
Girls. Hey.
Oh God! Turn into the fawns.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to see Rokugani Fawns.
I love saying A a lot. So anyway, so I have now completed our
Picture
us three
loading.
plus
You're gonna need a black stallion.
who's our
Hitoshi.
Hitoshi,
Hitoshi.
yes. As we have now boxed our last combatant.
Okay,
Center,
so he has so Koretane hasn't moved yet
Yeah,
over there,
It's just me and
Will be going.
but you're going towards
Yes.
Hitoshi. Cool,
Yeah.
got it.
Hitoshi.
So, but I will have put the fan away.
So you can stow the fan. Okay,
Because at this point, like
Now
now,
you're
it's
done
I have
unmasking.
calmed down.
Sure. You've taken a moment and gotten that out of your system. Koretane, you're still at 6.
It can be
Ready to
Yep.
go?
We're staying in fire stance.
Okay.
I'm going to use
Maybe.
one of the void points at this point, kind of like clear focus. The room goes quiet to me, and all I see in front of me is the wolfish-faced man.
Okay, so he's got his back to you, so you can head towards him.
Yep.
So you're going to move 1, use your fire stance, and try to hurt him
Yeah. Go
with your boken.
go
Got
for
it.
the neck.
Cool. So you add that extra ring dice and keep that ring.
Mm-hmm. Come on, dice. Oh, that's nice.
Well, that's real nice.
That's 3. And I'm just gonna borrow this real quick.
Yeah, no, probably they have more than I need, really.
Oh, come on, die. Roll flat.
Just kidding.
Ooh, very nice. Okay. So that's 2 opportunity.
Okay.
We're gonna turn that into a critical.
Okay, so did you succeed in striking?
You got so base of 3, and then on top of that, with fire stance, the 2
Strife count.
strife bump that up.
So
even
5
higher.
total successes.
Yes.
So that's 3 past. Okay, so you successfully struck. You're going to use your opportunity to do a critical strike. Okay.
and 6 total damage from that.
How much opportunity do you need to enact a critical? 2?
2.
Two.
That's so cool.
Unless you take Earth Stance and then they can't do it to you, which is what I took.
Yep, you can defend yourself.
Yep.
Oh, that's so
Okay,
cool.
so how much damage are you dealing? So
6
it's your
total.
Boken plus your bonus successes,
Yep.
right?
3 base, 1 for the bonus success, and then 2 from the bonuses, specifically from the strife.
So you draw your Boken, rush forward, swing. It connects directly with the back of the wolfish man's skull. You hear what sounds like a
Oh no!
and you see him immediately go limp and fall to the ground.
You killed that guy. No.
It didn't look like you drew blood, at least in that initial moment, but you saw him, that boken connected and he went down, smashing against the floor. You see...
hope for a concussion.
You see the remaining Ronin sees his sort of, presumably his leader, fall, and he looks at him on the ground, and then looks back at you. And it looks at him on the ground, and then looks back at you, and he yells,
Boken raised.
"Let's get out of here!" And you can see that already, as you kind of take a moment to survey the room, the students are handling themselves pretty well. It looks like they've taken some bruises and gotten thrashed a little bit, but so have the Ronin as well. So you can see that this guy begins to move out of the way and sort of bring everybody into a retreat. They all begin to pour out of the poison sake waterhouse, scattering to the five winds.
Can I catch one of them before they go?
Yeah, give me a we'll say that'll be your turns, because your turn's
That's
coming up
fine.
next. So give me a, let's do a TN2 athletics check.
You mean fitness? Or...
Sorry, fitness. That's right,
Okay.
fitness.
That's
As you're
fine.
trying to physically restrain this.
I mean, I was an earth stance. We just keep that?
If you want.
Okay, and
That's up to you.
I'm assuming quick reflexes will be...
Yes.
Right.
That will be appropriate.
Quick grab.
Well, when I roll well, at least I really roll well. It's...
Remember, that's not a reroll, it's a roll an additional.
I know.
Okay, I
I
just wanted to
rolled
make sure.
two
It looked like you
additional
picked up the
ones.
same ones.
Okay, and then I can re-roll 2?
Yep, of your choice.
Because of your advantage. Remember that the bars on above those say exactly what they do, which is helpful.
Alright,
Regardless
so,
of the details of them, like whether they're
I will keep... I get to keep 3.
story flavor.
Delicious.
I only need to succeed by 2, right?
It's TN2, so you got to get 2 successes.
Well, I got 3, but I also got 2 strife, which will put me over. I don't want to go over. So, I think I'll just take the 2 success and use the opportunity to cancel out that strife.
Okay, so your 2
2
successes. So you able? So this guy, the one who called for the retreat in the first place, he's close. He tries to bolt. You rush after him, grab him by the back of his grimy kimono, and yank him back down to the ground. So he's now at your mercy.
I'm sorry. Let me go. Let me go.
What are you doing here?
We just wine. We wanted some wine, and the boss started harassing the kids, and we thought, oh, it's gonna be fun. Sure, why not?
Stop. Do you think that's why they're here?
Oh no. You
No.
want some wine? Take bond.
We're not going to torture him, but...
You gotta pour some.
Yeah, this-
Easy there.
they stain my robe.
I mean, really? You're going to come here during the Topaz competition and rough up some students?
Okay. We were paid to come in here and beat some of these kids up. All right,
Which kids?
Just any of them. Just a bunch
Really?
of.
So your leader going after him was a coincidence?
Well,
And I'll
I
point to
don't-
Hiroshi.
I don't know that kid from the Japanese equivalent of Adam.
I'll just
I-
grab him by the back of his head and tilt his head back some. Stop.
Do you want me to answer? Do you want me to stop? I'm getting mixed signals here.
Just tell me the truth.
We were paid to come in here and rough these people up. We don't know who did it. The boss didn't even know. We just got paid nicely. We're supposed to come in here, rough some of these kids up so they can't compete. That's it. That's all.
He probably doesn't know too much more.
Just let go of him.
So he quickly, sort of scrambles out of the way and takes off out of the sake house.
I will go over and check the wolfish man. Is he dead?
It's clear that he is. So you check.
Stone cold.
Give me a medicine check. So there's a medicine
Let's see
skill.
what happens.
I can do that.
Kill man.
Oh, I actually have a rank in medicine. Great.
Yeah, same here.
I guess I'll take an earthen approach,
That's,
just like methodical and
Okay.
cautious.
Peasants.
Given that this man called me a bitch earlier. 1,
That's fair.
2. Whoop. Okay. Okay, so that's 2 success and 1 strife. I'll take my opportunity and cancel out a strife.
Okay.
So I am at 10 strife. I guess I'll be compromised until I get to chill because I don't want to unmask right now.
No, if you're over,
It's just if I'm over. I'm at.
it's over. At
Okay.
is fine. Over
Great.
is where
You're at teeth gritting now.
Yeah, you're like.
Now a gun. Power thirst.
No, what's the something about berry? There's some kind of berry flavor. What is it?
What is it? Power berry, lightning, thunder.
I went with lightning. Realize there's Kenyans.
Shit, gotta look it up now.
Anyway, checking.
I'm sure. Yeah. Steve
So
will look it up. I got 2 successes.
Okay, so you take a quick look at him. Your basic sort of first aid training and everything tells you like he's gonna be fine. It's clear that he's got like there's probably a small crack in his skull. He's probably got a concussion or something, but
He's not dead.
he's not dead. He'll live.
He's gonna be out for a while.
He's gonna be out for a while. Yeah.
What's that? You want strawberry? Well, how about raw berry?
That's it.
Yeah. So I will look at you and inform you that he is not dead.
Put the bouquin back in my sash.
I will look at
It's good to
Hiroshi
know.
and say, "Do you believe us now?"
Hitoshi.
Hitoshi, god damn it! Why do I want to put an R in there?
Because he's
Yeah.
doing it.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's his fault.
it is my fault.
for once something's not my fault.
Well, it is also your fault. Anyway.
Let me write it down.
Hitoshi.
Oh.
Hitoshi.
Yeah, okay. Hitoshi. I'll look at Hitoshi. Do you believe us now?
Hitoshi hit the wolf guy. That's your mnemonic. That's your
Way to
Yes.
remember.
way to remember.
Okay, great, cool. I just wrote it down.
He sort of sighs deeply. You can see that he's sort of nursing his face, taking that pretty strong blow from the wolfish man. He says, "I have no choice but to agree."
You handled yourself well.
We need to tell someone.
Who's going to believe us?
How many people know? That's the other thing. I think maybe even the school or some of the organizers planned this.
Let's not speculate about this in public.
That's wise.
Let's go.
Go for a nice walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave with Hitoshi.
Yeah. I see.
Okay, so who's going where?
We're
Are you
probably
heading,
all
are you heading back to
leaving
the?
together.
We are exiting stage left out of the building.
With
Okay,
Hitoshi.
with Hitoshi.
And you're keeping Hitoshi. Yeah.
I
So
mean-
you're all heading to the same place. I mean, well, Hitoshi has to go to a different lodging area because remember he didn't have.
I think it's probably a good idea to walk him there,
Okay. Yeah.
given what's happened.
So you take a moment. You make sure that he gets home. Okay. He is. It's clear that his pride is wounded. He's tired, but there's a look of vindication in his eyes. Like at least now he knows that forces are definitely aligned
Yeah.
against him. He bids you good night and makes his way up to his room inside the inn, and you can see the light through the paper window get extinguished, and the place is quiet.
Do we get half our strife back, or composure back now that this?
If you're heading back to the inn, it's even better. So you're gonna
Okay.
with your tiredness, your soreness, and everything, the excitement of the evening gone, you head back to the inn and try to get a good night's sleep. And you get to drop your fatigue and your strife
Great.
back down to half of their respective.
Oh, it's not a full clear. It's a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assuming.
Well,
okay.
strife works that way, and also fatigue works that way as well.
Okay.
If you suffered any fatigue, it would go down to half of your endurance value.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So I'm back down to 5 strife.
So after a scene, and I'll always tell you when the scene is over, those things essentially like you go down to the half, unless you're lower than that, in which case you just kind of
Right.
sit there.
Interesting. Got it.
Also, You get 4 experience points.
Hey! Everybody's favorite currency.
You get 4 experience points, and we will spend the remainder of our time tonight kind of figuring out what you want to do with those 4 experience points.
Cool.
So,
I
Captain
guess.
first.
I do have a question before we even get to that.
yes.
How do techniques work when they are of the invocation or ritual style? Specifically, I think invocation. That seems to be more so like Shugenja style. Herbs.
In terms of, what do you mean by how
Just
do they
using
work?
them, I think.
Yeah, like
How
how,
do you use
how would
them?
I use Grasp of Earth, for example?
Grasp of
grass, right?
I assume so.
Let me see if I can get to the Shugenja. So it's an earth thingy. It's not a Shuji.
That was cool. That was a neat little fun fight. It's always fun doing tavern brawls.
Mm-hmm.
So normally doing invocations is a theology check.
Mm-hmm.
So in the case of Grasp of Earth, as an attack action, you may make a TN2 theology check, Earth, right?
Okay.
Targeting one character at range 0 to 2.
Okay.
If you succeed, your summon cracks in the earth. You summon cracks in the earth, I'm sorry. Each target suffers supernatural damage equal to your earth ring and must resist with a TN4 fitness check or suffer the prone condition.
Nice.
Wow.
And there are some opportunities that, when you have opportunities, you can use them for. Like, reduce the damage each target suffers to 0 if you're just wanting to knock them down, injure them.
Okay.
Or, each target that fails their fitness check to resist also suffers the immobilized condition.
So it's got some depth to it. That, I think, will be fun to try to use.
And so there are also opportunities to use, depending on the kind of invocation that you're using, to like add extra techniques, like add extra effects. Like this effect inflicts physical damage instead of supernatural damage. Or treat the maximum range of this technique as 1 higher per advantage spent. So forth and so on.
So while you're back there, Path to Inner Peace.
Path to
What
Inner
does
Peace.
that do?
What is that?
That should be an invocation?
It is an invocation.
Yes. I believe I split these by invocation and ritual.
Path to Inner Peace is a water invocation. As a support action, you can make a TN2 Theology water check, targeting yourself or another character at range 0 to 2. If you succeed, you mend your target's exhausted muscles. The target removes fatigue equal to your water ring, plus your bonus successes.
Oh, that's neat.
Each target cannot be affected by the Path to Inner Peace invocation again until the end of scene. So it's 1 time per target.
Nice. Okay. So get a little bit of healing there.
Yeah, it's sort of like a heal. Like, I can heal you, and then you, and then you, and then till the next scene I'm done.
Nice. Okay.
And I'm sorry.
So, spending experience points. So you got 4 experience points right now.
Neat.
Basically, you can do a handful of things. You can increase the values of your rings, right, which is expensive. You can increase skill ranks. You can purchase techniques, and they must be listed among available techniques, or they must appear in your curriculum, right? So that's why you're limited to like
You must be able to learn.
you can only learn Shuji or whatever.
You got your copies, right?
Yeah, I
All
did.
this-
Those are all yours.
Oh,
Yeah, I filtered those out.
Nice.
Or you can acquire new advantages, but that's at the GM's discretion. That's an unusual thing.
I would definitely be interested in some sort of maybe fire invocation.
Oh, you can also just advance in your school, like go through your curriculum as well.
yeah.
So if you want to bump your ring value up by 1, it's 3 XP times the value purchased.
Okay, so if I was at Water 1, I would need 6?
6 XP.
Okay.
Because you're trying to get value 2.
Okay. That
Now
makes
keep in
sense.
mind you cannot increase a ring to a value greater than your lowest ring plus your void ring.
So I can't increase any of mine past
Okay.
3.
Yes.
Because my void is my lowest ring, actually. But if I do my lowest ring plus my void, that's 3.
Yeah, so any of your rings, they're capped right now at 3.
Okay. But it sounds like we wouldn't be able to afford.
No, because you've got 4 XP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right now.
definitely no. That's a neat little way to make sure you can't just kind of run away with a single stat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the rings cap out period at 5. So, you know,
And
just
so,
to keep the
what's
dice down.
the what's the ability to raise your ring number? It's the
3 times the value you're getting.
3 times your next value. Okay.
Yeah. So, go from 1 to 2 would be 6 XP.
So okay, not quite within our. And what about skills?
Skills are 2 XP times the rank purchased. So getting 1 rank in nothing would be 2 XP.
Mhm.
Getting the second rank in one that you've already got a rank in would be 4 XP. You see how that works?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's an easy.
Some skills might be
And
nice.
techniques usually cost 3 XP.
Okay.
Or there's some other additional, like, and some of them have different XP values depending on what they do. And again, since you're in a school,
Mhm.
you can also spend XP to advance through the school's curriculum specifically. Right.
Isn't that weird? Because aren't we supposed to? Are we supposed to be graduating? Or
Well, no, you're still learning from your school, but now you are a proper samurai.
Yeah.
But your training hasn't stopped. You know what I mean? You're still learning
Get that
the techniques.
lifelong education.
Yeah.
Literally, actually.
right?
Okay. So if I was interested in learning some sort of fire invocation of some sort, and I was, what's the school? The Isawa Elementalist School? What is actually in my curriculum?
Okay, so, sorry, you were
Isawa Elementalist School?
Sawa Elementalist. So you're
Mhm.
Pheonix. That's the dragon. School.
Phoenix, a scorpion, and a unicorn.
Walk into a bar
Hmm.
and a fight breaks out.
But it's all
That already
Mantis's fault.
Yep.
That's all. that's the big takeaway from all this.
The
It's not
Isawa
our
Elementalist
fault.
School?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see.
Are you heading out, Nick?
Try to
Get some sleep.
Get some shine before waking up tomorrow and doing
A full day of...
GM stuff. So
Or are
Makes
you
sense.
running something tomorrow too?
yeah, Jason and I are signed up for the same thing. I think they're only going to need one of us. So I'm going to pop in and see if they need me, and if not, then I'm going to go play Keyforge. So the new Fantasy Flight card game that just came out, but it's coming out tomorrow. So
Okay.
it's a release event at Merlin's Beard. So
I see. Okay.
I always want to go to the Merlin's Beard, and then I remember it's always crowded, and I'm like, never mind.
yeah, it's cool. Like I can get past paying the cover, so I get that because it's a really extensive library.
Yeah.
But like when I want to get there, it's like the appeal of like getting food and like and beverages is really nice, but it's also kind of pricey. And also, yeah, it's kind of crowded. So like,
I mean, and I feed you for free.
yeah, I know.
That's hard to argue with.
It's not even bad usually.
So I wouldn't worry about the curriculum stuff right now because
Okay.
the way that it works is that you will eventually level up the rank in your school, and the way you do that is by spending XP on things that are listed in the rank, like scholar skills, courtesy,
Oh.
games, martial arts unarmed, rank
Cool.
1 earth shuji, open hand style technique, divination, stuff like that. And then based on that, so let me read this out to you. This makes sense. Emily's character is a heated defender. She's at school rank 1, and she wants to spend 2 XP increasing her unarmed skill rank to 1. She's buying a rank in it. Because rank 1 of her heated defender curriculum lists martial skills, her 2 XP fully contributes to reaching school rank 2. So to get to school rank 2, you got to spend 20 XP in support of.
Ah, okay.
Right? Later,
support of.
she decides to spend 4 XP on unarmed to jump that skill rank up to 2. Now she's spent a total of 6 out of the 20 she needs to get to school rank 2. If she'd spent that 4 XP on a skill that does not appear on her curriculum at that rank, it would only add 2 XP toward her total school rank 2, and would be 4 out of the 20 she needs. So instead, it's like halved.
So school rank is not you actively putting XP to it. It's marking how much XP you spent on the things that...
Essentially, yeah. As you're learning techniques, if they align with the school that you're in,
Yeah.
you can bump up to the next rank.
Faster than if you just
Yeah.
pick other things.
Other
Okay,
things.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So here's you saw my Elementalist school listing.
Things I need to do.
Cool. I'll give you that mine. I'll probably do that. Or try to... I want to get a copy of that for myself, too. So, see if I can pick
Well,
one.
I just took 2 skills that I didn't have.
See you guys later.
Okay.
See you all next. I won't see you Sunday because I'm opting out so that it's less trouble for Steve.
Sure, yeah.
So I'll see you next Thursday.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's do next week.
For
Yeah.
Arkham Horror stuff and see
Sure.
if that's something you guys like to do. So.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. We get something good.
Rank 1 fire.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
We'll see you.
I shall see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm. I'll be there probably around the same time that you are, like 11:30 or
yeah,
something.
that's
Yeah.
my game plan. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Fall down the stairs.
See ya.
Yeah.
Bye. Okay.
You won't tie the hug.
Put all this stuff.
Okay.
Where
Yes, I should be helpful. I'm glad we didn't finish it all tonight. Does that make sense? That means we get to play it again?
I mean, there's plenty left. There's the second half of the tournament. Right?
So,
It's just that
can we keep playing it,
at
or do you
this
not
point-
want to?
no, I do. It's just that
Okay.
at this point in the adventure, it was a natural break, and it
Yeah.
encourages you to like, with those pre-gen characters, like turn the page and like spend some XP, and now you're the upgraded version of your pre-gen characters, and let's do the second half of the adventure. I figured that was just a good place to stop rather than trying to barrel through it.
Yeah. It's a good call.
enjoyed it at a nice pace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't want to rush it.
Which dice bag do you want the die in? The red one over here?
Yeah, that red one over there.
Okay.
Should be the one with the fake dice.
Okay. Ooh, I forget how soft this one is.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds fun.
You want me to cook or order pizza or something?
Yeah, order pizza.
What, you want me to cook? And make some delicious, healthy roasted vegetables? Baked chicken?
Sounds like pizza.
See, I say the healthy option, and Steven's like, oh, that sounds good. And you're like,
Mhm.
let's order pizza. Hmm?
I was trying to consolidate stuff into the box, but in order for it to stay together, it has to have this cardboard in it.
Oh.
Just have to keep it separated.
I guess so. Alright. What kind of pizza would you like, my dear?
Good.
Okay. You want the barbecue or you want the Parmesan garlic one?
Parmesan, I think it is for me.
Okay.
Looking at fire techniques, and one of them is make katana out of fire.
Ooh.
The other one is turn any other blade. I don't even think it has to be yours. Yeah, within 0 1, and you basically just like wreath it in flame for a bonus of 3 extra damage.
You're doing that, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking that way.
Like, that sounds perfect for you.
It sounds pretty fun.
Why would I want to use a future time? Just give me the food now.
Well, some people order these things for like events or whatever. I don't want it.
I suppose that's true. Do you want to add anything else, like bread or whatever?
Just the pizza's fine with me. So all the dice are. I can show you.
Yes.
Techniques are 3. It is 1. I'm gonna have to look into picking that book up. Cool book, fun setting.
They're also putting out I don't know when it's supposed to come out, but an Emerald Empire book that's kind of a setting, like a source book.
Mm-hmm. Some material to play around with. Sounds fun.